Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the $10,000 Astro Battles 2v2 Spring Major. It is all led up to this, and of course, I mean, it just wouldn't be Astro Battles without Blaze. So Blaze, how you doing? Are you excited for today?
Oh man, I'm excited for everything today, Frank, okay?
Awesome.
Hell, we got 10 grand on the line. This is the finals, and we know when it's finals time, these players, they come out and they give out their best punches. And we got some talented teams here in the semis already, and some upsets as well. So we got lots to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So I think the biggest upset that we witnessed in the bracket was the number 2 seed Vexum. They were taken down by LoBron, which is Bronny and Vino who ended up knocking them down. But then Zovios and Powers playing
Powers, yes.
Zovi Powers ended up making it to the semifinals here. So they're going to be taking on Hand Cells in the second semifinal. But that first semifinal that we have is going to be, I mean, the familiar names. We've got Hive x ELV, that's TJ and Demise, going up against Rise Rusi, which is Rushies and Icy. So that's going to be the first map and match that we witness here today. But before we kind of get into that, I wanted to touch on the leaderboard a little bit, just kind of catch everyone up, do a little housekeeping on the bracket, on the tournament. So here's your top seeded teams going into today's Spring Major for the 2v2 Astro Battles. And this is basically just a accumulation of points over the weekly tournaments that we had, those weekly qualifiers, and those points worked into the seeding. So you have Hive x Elevate up there at the top, TJ and Demise, no surprise there, and it kind of goes down the line. I think the sleeper pick is Zovi Powers,
the 7th seed,
Zovios, the 7th seed, making it to the semifinals of the big 10K tournament today. So they are going to be who I'm keeping my eye on, of course, going forward. And let's take a look at the prizing, because we mentioned the total prize pool, but let's take a look at the breakdown real quick. So first place, taking home $4,000. You split that 2 ways. That's not a bad weekend in the bank. Runners up going to be taking home $2,000. Third through fourth, $1,000 and $500 going from 5th through 8th. So a nice little prize pool, nice little cash being spread about.
Looking at the prize pool, it makes that matchup with LoBron, okay? Bronny and Vino against the 2 seed to beat them to make it into the money. It just makes it that much sweeter.
Yeah, a little cherry on top, if you will. And you spoke about it. Let's take a look at that bracket as well before we get into the maps and into this first semifinal. So there you see kind of your top teams who made it through, but of course we're going to be taking a look at the semifinals. There's your matchups. I think I mentioned it at the top, but yeah, a lot of money. That LoBron victory, very big over the number 2 seed. And your map rotations for the semifinals, it'll change up during grand finals. Grand finals today will be a best of 5 as well, just something to keep mind of. We're going to go boxes, mid, arena in both semifinals to set the stage for the grand finals. Blaze, I think I'm just ready to get into it. I'm ready to get these matches started. I'm excited because that last weekly qualifier that we witnessed was probably some of the best 2v2 Astro Battles I've seen, or that I've been the most impressed by since like the first season. It was just so clean. Everyone's really elevated their game, and then you throw $10,000 at these players and you know they're gonna turn out.
Man, last week was wild, folks, okay? Every single match that we got a chance to watch, at some point, at minimum, was at least tied up 7-7 as we got towards the back end of it. So it was just back and forth between all these duels. We really couldn't tell who was going to get a leg up on some of these series. But the other thing that was super cool, we saw so many comebacks. That's what made a lot of those matches super exciting. A bunch of 6-round comebacks, 5-round comebacks. And if we have any of that, even just an inkling of what we had last week today with this prize pool, today's tournament is going to be wild.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting seeing some of the comebacks, just the way they were able to turn it around. Definitely, I think the most unpredictable weekly tournament we had, just because you didn't know which team was going to close it out or clutch up at the very end. And a lot of times it was on the back of a cell. So that's something to keep in mind too as we get ready for this first match here, is that kind of handles and cells have been that clutch factor. TJ and Demise have been that consistent factor. And if that ends up being our grand finals tonight, it's a repeat of the December season, that winter split. So that'll be interesting to see. But here we have the first semifinal of the evening. We're getting into it. 2 players going down off the start. The buddy system comes into effect. Demise gonna get the chunk. Icy gonna answer back onto TJ. And here we have, starting it off with the 1v1.
All right, it's Demise, Icy, and you see Demise taking cover here mid-box. He's just gonna wait for Icy to approach him, and this is gonna be a difficult fight for him, but nobody getting that first shot in just yet. But now Demise has full control over it, and once Icy didn't return fire, he knew that he was gonna be able to get in there and that minimum trade that kill. But he comes out with the victory. You're gonna see the boys of TJ and Demise strike first. Now, if you guys are just joining us here for the Astro Battle Finals, the duo of TJ and Demise, they have been dominant for a long time in Astro Battle, so they are the first seed for a reason. And I'll tell you one thing, man, Rushies and Icy, they're gonna have their hands full, but if they were playing anything like they played last week, this is gonna be a close-ass series.
Yeah, and we see it right there. Rushy's just taking control of that second round, ends up getting both kills, seals the deal to get us tied back up at 1 round apiece. And before the action gets too intense and too hectic, I want to make sure everyone is tuned in and linked up at live.gearsofwar.com. We've got some watch and win giveaways going on. You can also type !Astro in the chat to be entered to win an Astro prize pack. So make sure you're on top of that here today, because Blaze and I are going to be talking about the action. It's on you to do a little bit of that extra homework. And this time, Icy going to say it's my turn to get 2 of these kills. He does so, and they get 2 rounds in a row now to take the lead over TJ and Demise, our most winningest team of this spring season.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row for Rushies and Icy. So far so good. They're gonna come out with the lead. I had to make sure I took time to put !Astro in the chat, because hell, I want to win some free headsets as well, folks. All right, hell, if you got time to put a Zuna in the chat, put !Astro and make sure you get a chance at the Astro prize package, as we're all tied up 2-2 here in our first map of the semifinals. And we know that it's going to be a back and forth battle between these 2 duos. Also, it's going to be a few rounds before we see who can really pull away with some type of lead here. To have a 2 to 3 round cushion in 2v2 is extremely important. Now, with Demise and TJ, we see Demise playing up here towards the box. He's going to leave his fight to get some damage in on Rushy, but that back row looked like it may have been a mistake. His shot didn't come out. I love the play for the disengage. They just didn't capitalize on the opportunity that they created for themselves.
Yeah, and TJ just going to end up taking too much damage. Like, you know, early on in Astro battles, the 2v1s, we saw some crazy clutches. Of course, the game a little bit like faster in the movement category there. It's much tougher to pull off those 2v1s. And then when you're looking at the stakes here in this $10,000 spring major, you're not going to see a lot of risk. I think the gameplay is going to be a little bit safer, a little bit more clean. So in those 2v1s, your opponents are not going to give you an opportunity to clutch up. So a big round there. TJ kind of a little bit quiet on high XDLV, but there he answers me. Here's the call, gets the chunk onto Rushies, and that's going to be another victory for TJ and Demise to tie us up at 3s.
Ooh, TJ made some quick decisions there on that box. He comes off cover. He takes 2 steps, the perfect angle. His opponent didn't hear him, wasn't in frame. Hits a beautiful shot there to get the 2v1 for him and Demise. Now, they got the 1 round lead here. It's TJ versus Rushies on the right, Icy's and Demise on the left. They finish their fight simultaneously, and they're going to get the first 2 round lead. Well,
nice.
Second 2 round lead.
Second 2 round, yeah, but with these being, you know, it's going to go back and forth, Blaze. You're just, you know, gazing into the future at this point, because all of these matches, I think, today are going to be close, like what we saw during that last qualifier. It's all going to come down to those final rounds. Even if you have a big lead, we saw some clutch comebacks, so who knows who's going to come out on top here. Right now, it's Demise making some big plays, and TJ with the follow-up, so they're going to get a nice little stretch of 3 rounds in a row.
Man, today is the day to be on fire, Frank, okay? The most money ever that we've had in the Astro Battle Finals to go out towards first place. And, you know, this is what you practice for, okay? One thing about the regular season is that it builds consistency with these duos. That's why we see the same duos at the top over and over, because they play week on and week out. And TJ and Demise, man, they know the little advantages in which they can find on all of these maps how to set the pace, control the tempo, get the first shot in. And as we say here in Astro Battles, man, damage is currency. So the quicker you can put out that damage, the quicker you can get yourself to the money. And we're seeing that right now on our screen as they are currently with a 4-round lead here on map number 1. You see them trying to get aggressive. They're going to make it a 5-round lead, and they are just dominating at this point. They're looking like they're our first seed for a reason.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. TJ and Demise definitely turning up the intensity here in the grand finals of this spring major. I'm sorry, the semifinals, the grand final essentially of the season, right? It's the 10K spring major, but they are stepping up in a major way. And you talk about damage as currency. TJ is looking like that damage is worth about $4,000 in first place. He's gonna back up, get his buddy up, and now it's all gonna be on the back of Icy to stop some of this bleeding, because TJ and Demise are running away with it, playing extremely good Astro Battles 2v2. You see TJ getting a little bit of damage in, backing away, but Icy ends up getting the chunk on the Demise, so now we have the 1v1.
Oh my God.
This is a
Icy
lot of momentum.
finding a prime opportunity to turn this into a 1v1. TJ is going to back up, get the pistol off the respawn, puts out a little bit of damage, and he's going to try to play off that. As I said, damage is currency, and TJ not wasting any opportunities. Icy, I've watched him get out of more difficult positions before, but it won't happen this time around. TJ going to lock that round in, and that's going to be a 5-round lead there for TJ in Demise. And I got to give a huge shout out to the people who came over from the Xbox stream. We hope you had a fantastic time, but right now it's 2v2 Astro Battle Grand Finals, okay? Finals weekend. Frank, you messed me up on the end before.
We'll clean it up. We'll get in the flow here, just like TJ and Demise are getting in the flow. Holy smokes, what is that? I gotta count manually. 7 rounds in a row straight to get them on to match point for this first map in the first semifinal of the Astro Battles $10,000 spring major. See, we're cleaning it up as we go. But
there you go.
On game point here. Let's see if they have it. Icy's got a little bit of a different idea, but Demise says, nah, map 1 is in the books. TJ and Demise taking this first one.
That was dominant. That was disgusting. So dominant by them. Jeez. 7 rounds in a row to kick off the spring major of 2v2. TJ and Demise are not playing around today, folks. I would be scared if you're still in a tournament. All right, yes. Icy and Rushies, they got to find some way to get out of this difficult position, because to be able to bounce back from that one is going to be hard.
Yeah, a little bit of a demoralizing, defeat, I think, there for Icy and Rushies. I mean, they're our number 4 seed, so they're like nothing to shake a stick at. This isn't like, this isn't, match number 1, the first seed versus the 64th seed. This was 2 of the best performing teams from the entire season, and TJ and Demise just kind of embarrassed them live on stream.
Yeah, 1 and 4. That's 1 and 4 seeds right there. But hey, TJ and Demise, man, they're 2 of the best individual players that we have in the game, and they just showed us why. Just honestly dominating both of their 1v1s on that boxes map, and that's kind of how we seen it break down over this split of Astro Battles. Just 2 1v1s at opposite ends of the pillar. Both the squads kind of trying to stay away from that mid box area, because at the level in which these guys play, if you have to play against someone like TJ on that mid box, he can head down right away and get a wrap shot on you before you could even react to him. So we see him taking some more high percentage fights, but even when it's separated in those 1v1s, man, TJ and Demise, they just look really, really clean there. And they had to clutch up a few of those rounds, Some of those rounds, TJ had to come out with double kills and Demise. So it got that clutch factor with them today as well. Now we're going to move on over towards map number 2, and we'll see if Icy and Rushies can find some way to put map number 1 in the back of their heads and turn this one around.
Yeah, they just have to move past it at this point. The second map we're going to be going to is mid, and then if Rushies and Icy manage to take this map off of TJ and Demise, our third map will be on the All Fathers Arena. But
okay,
I mean, with however, was it 8 rounds in a row that TJ and Demise, or 7 rounds in a row, they ended up winning that first map? Yeah, with mid is going to be still an uphill battle for Icy and Rushies, but these are the 1 and 4 seed, like we mentioned. So they're going to be able to shake it off, but it's just going to be all on TJ and Demise, how quickly they want to essentially look towards that grand final. And of course, this mid-box matchup, so important here. You'll see TJ contesting heavily. Demise wins the 1v against Rushy. So now it's all on Icy again, but he is full red. That's going to be an easy down and an easy kill on behalf of Hive x ELV, and TJ and Demise carry that momentum into map number 2.
Man, throughout this map, I want you guys at home to pay attention how difficult it is to try to clutch up a 1v2 if your teammate falls off the grid first, and just trying to get into that one-shot range, find a way to play off your teammate's damage before he fail. These players make some difficult decisions, and that was an easy 2v2 right there. Fight for the boys of Hive x Elevate. They're gonna lock in 2 rounds in a row, but pay attention to what these players put each other through, you know, when they get that first kill.
Yeah. Oh, it's brutal, right? There's no mercy here in Astro battles, and I think that's what I love so much about it. You see TJ getting some nice early damage out there. Gonna run up to Icy and just delete him. He says, I'll see you next round. Demise says the same to Rushies, and TJ and Demise looking like your #1 seed for sure here today.
Yeah, they are, man. They definitely are. So if you're in this position that Rise Rusi is in, how do you get out of it? How do you get the turn the tables back into your favor? Well, when it comes down to it, you got to be able to have that positive reinforcement for your teammate. Hype each other up. Hit some shots. Try to focus on one guy, and you see that focus goes towards TJ. Now, the kill will come through, and this is going to fall into a 1v1 scenario, Demise versus Rushies. Demise with this mid-box control, but no matter where these players are, the real question is that who's going to be able to get that first shot off, get the first spray, even if it's just a half a spray. You want to be able to put damage in first. That way you can kind of have some room to work your right-hand advantage and close into that one-chunk range.
Yep, that damage definitely going to be a big advantage here, but Rushies, I can't blame him for playing this one so patient. Because Demise has been winning the 1v against him in the prior 2 rounds, so he might be playing a little scared, just waiting for his opportunity to strike. And we will have those pistols up. We'll see if Demise forgoes that mid-box control, but I think Rushies might be, I don't know, sending a tweet right now. He's chilling. He's saying, we'll just draw this one out if we need to.
Hey, I don't blame him, right?
No.
Because check this out. Rushies has the confidence that he can possibly win this 1v1. He's going to wait to the final few seconds of the round before the timer comes through, and we're going to draw it all out, all right? So, but he has the confidence, but he also knows there is a risk that they could be down by 4 rounds. Now, if it was a 2-0, he probably would have pushed Demise and said, okay, let me see if I can get the leg up. But do not want to lose any more rounds in a row. Him and Icy, currently that's going to be round number 10 that they've lost so far. So don't want to make it 11 in a row, but it's not looking good.
TJ is on another level today. I am telling you, man, TJ and Demise, I'll say it, the last weekly qualifier we had, they looked like maybe the crown they were wearing was sized down a little bit. Like, it was looking a little wobbly, but they came out today.
They needed a readjustment, a resize.
Yeah, a refitting for something. But, I mean, today, no question, they are the #1 seed. They are here to win. They are playing out of their minds. It is a huge uphill battle. I mean, we talk about, like, TJ and Demise, but, yeah, today they're on the same page, like, on another level. It's looking like, I mean, it's 5-0. This is semifinals. It's... Man, we just talked about how close the matches had been, too. Yeah, muy bueno. We were talking about, like, oh, they've been so close. These matches, you know, everyone has seemed to level up their game. Everyone's, you know, so evenly matched. And TJ and Demise must have took those comments to heart, because they are setting the bar on another level here today.
And they aren't slowing down either. Like, usually you get into in this position, sometimes you feel comfortable, but they don't feel, they want more. They said, yeah, you know what? We've won 13 rounds in a row, but we want more, okay? Right. Yeah, we won the first map 10-3, but we want more. Yeah, we pretty much won most of the series in a regular season, most of the Astro battles, but we want more. We want the spring major, and they're looking damn good today.
Yeah, Icy finally gets an early kill. This will be the first round that Icy and Rushies have taken in 14 rounds. They're able to take this one. And is it enough? We'll have to see. It's just, for me, it's like TJ and Demise are playing on another level. They're just, I mean, they're totally in control. It's all on Icy and Rushies to prove to me right now that they can make this comeback. They need to string something together, put some damage out there, because right now TJ and Demise are a freight train that has left the station and has no intentions of stopping anytime soon. A little bit of a slower start here.
He has no respect for Rushies here towards the right, just a little bit, but Rushies, he's going to let him know, don't take no free shots on my teammate. You better keep your eyes on me. If not, we're going to make a comeback very, very quickly. And Rushies and Icy, I think they made the biggest comeback that we've seen last week. I forgot who they were playing, but they definitely was a part of that mix. Now they got to do it again here in the spring major. Down multiple rounds, they got to put that little 13-round streak behind them and try to create one of their own and try to have some dominance here. So Rushies on his pillar. He's playing it very different than Demise was, sorry, than TJ was the previous round, I believe that was. But Icy gonna get the damage in on TJ. Rushies is in the mix, and he's gonna get the read down and the chunk. They're on the board. That's 3 in a row. Despite them losing 13 rounds in a row, if they just win 3 more rounds at this point, they're all tied up and back into the series. And that's what they should be focusing on.
Yeah, 6 rounds to 3 in Astro battles in 2v2 gears is a lot closer than one might think. And I like what Icy and Rushies are doing here. They've slowed it down. Demise and TJ were just running through them, and here we see them playing a much more patient game. They know they need to grind their way back into this one to force that map number 3. Demise looking to add up this damage, rack up that damage. He's taking 10% from Rushies at a time, just needs to walk out, gets the down, gets the kill, and TJ follows in turn to stop that momentum.
You know what? I love that TJ and Demise slowed it down a bit. Okay, they're making sure that everything that they worked up for up until this point, they don't lose it all at once, because they are just kind of playing off their ego in a sense, right? They were slapping them up for 13 rounds. Sometimes you're gonna be a little bit more aggressive, but they seem like they are back in control of this series. I love how aggressive Demise is playing there towards the pillar, giving TJ a lot of options to work around with, and they're making great decisions, and the focus fire is there. 2 rounds away from going to the grand finals.
You know what that 3 rounds was? That was just a school zone. There was flashing lights. TJ and Demise just had to bring it down to 20 miles per hour for a little bit, but they seem to be through that school zone, and now they're at cruising altitudes yet again towards the grand finals. They just need 2 more here.
Demise, he plays with a lot of confidence on these pillars. He know that Icy got weak. TJ called it out. Icy's the focus. He's down. Beautiful shot from Rushies. The revive is there. Now the tables have turned. Icy with full HP. The chunk is there, but Icy finishes them off. And what a beautiful play from Rushies to save that round for his squad. He took initiative, and now they get 1 round closer to tying this one up.
Yeah, and we've seen this last weekly as well. I believe, I forget who the matchup was, but it was definitely like 8 rounds to 4. They just needed a few more rounds to win. They ended up getting upset.
Handles in cells?
Yes, handles in cells. That's right. So it's not out of the question here. It is just a whole lot of work for Icy and Rushies, but I like that they're playing patient. That has been the key to their success so far. But TJ and Demise have been able to answer a few rounds.
You look at Icy. You see the head?
Yep.
The body shifting over. They're like getting ready for the wrap shot, the up A, if they want to go for the back A, you know, but when they stick their head over, that actually gives their opponent an opportunity to hit a few more shots depending on the angle in which they take. But we can kind of see that they're preparing to make moves with those little bitty shifts, and TJ tries to strike first. The focus was Icy, but Rushy makes a great defensive play to save his teammate, but now they just have to get settled again, get their health back. Now they're back in control, but what the hell is TJ gonna do in this situation? Not much.
Not much you can do from a situation like that. It was great, a great shot from Icy to take out Demise that opened up the play for him, allowed them to claw their way back into this one. They've got a little bit of more momentum on their side. 8 rounds to 5, still a lot of work to do, but not out of the question now for Icy and Rushies. But we'll have to see what TJ and Demise have in store. A couple of shots going out quick. TJ at 100% back up. Icy very weak though, 28%. That's going to be a call out. Looks like TJ looking to make a move, but Rushies has a different idea in mind. 8 rounds to 6. We got a ball game.
Yeah, we got a ball game indeed, folks. Okay, Rushies and Icies, they are here to play. Mainly Rushies picking up some big kills here in this one. These last few rounds, he's definitely set the tone and kept Rise Rusi in this one, but let's see if he can do it again. He's gonna have his right hand advantage on these pillars. Plays it more passively than Demise, but there you go, trying to get some shots in on TJ, harassing him a bit, trying to see if he can give Icy an opportunity to make a play on him on that mid box, but on the flip hand, Demise is holding a left hand advantage on that pillar. Left hand angle, as we'll call it that way, but who's gonna get that next shot off? Who's gonna go for it first? And the breakage on the last round was the focus on Icy at the mid box 2 rounds ago. Demise and TJ tried to make that play, but Demise is playing strictly defense because he says, you know what, we have the lead, and he may favor the other side as well, because if you do have a duo that favors one side more than the other, they don't have any issues whatsoever drawing out rounds. But of course, Rushies and Icy, they're gonna make a play at some point.
Yeah. Good job on Demise anticipating that play. That's going to be a down on Icy. Can Rushies get in to revive his teammate? He's going to be up now. Down comes through. Rushies is on that mid box. Demise still has this pillar control, looking to flank out wide right. Get some damage in, but Rushies, great shots out of him, able to take down Demise. And now TJ, the last member left on Hive X ELV. And it's a 1-round map.
Yes, it is. That's 4 rounds in a row here for Rushies and Icy. What a great round from them. They took initiative. Demise did a fantastic job dodging shots, but him and TJ could not make a play off that down on Icy. They were just too far away and didn't want to risk cleaning up the kill. But a big play from Demise, but he misses the shot, and we are about to all be tied up here in the semis. They fall hard. 8-8 on the board. 5 rounds in a row for these guys. Demise and TJ, they get nervous, folks.
Nerves. Demise was trying to assert dominance. He mashed those buttons a little bit too hard, ends up rolling right into Rushies, and that's going to tie up map number 2. And TJ and Demise are on map 1. Oh no, critical failure. Icy takes down the teammate, and Demise and TJ gonna be on map point because of that blunder.
You know what's crazy? Last week we saw those Rushies who killed Icy.
Yeah.
Okay, in one of these same scenarios on this map. Now Icy kind of returns to favor, but I will say this: Rushies turned up after that team kill, so Icy is gonna have to do the same. And his target is TJ on the mid box. Can he take control?
Icy's.
But we see the focus here is going to be Rushies for TJ and Demise.
Players at full health now. Rushies making the first move, is going to take down Demise. TJ going to answer back, gets his teammate up. Icy takes down Demise. We have the 1v1. It is now on TJ to take this team to the grand finals, and he gets the down.
Icy, that was his opportunity to make it up to Rushies, but in the end, it is not a round 19. It is your first seed going to the grand finals to get one more crack at coming away with a major title.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, a little bit heartbreaking on behalf of Icy and Rushies. I mean, to lose 13 rounds in a row and bring it back within 1 round, and then we saw it fall apart. The paper hands were revealed. The team kill, and then after that point, it's like you're just hoping you can make it up to your teammate at that point.
Yeah, you are, and it's unfortunate, but in the end, what a fantastic matchup that we saw there between our 1 seed and our 4 seed. They've been consistent throughout our 5 tournaments on a regular season, and so it was nice to see them here in the semifinals, and they definitely delivered for the fans. But hey, TJ and Demise, man, they're our most consistent duo for a reason.
Yeah, they definitely are. So I mean, they're going to be moving on to the grand finals, but the thing about the $10,000 2v2 spring major is that some more prizing available. So just to break that down real quick, 3rd through 4th is going to be taking home $1,000 as well. So if you're ices and rushies, maybe a little bit disappointed, but at least you get to walk away with some cash in hand. And speaking of things you can walk away with, there's some weapon skins, there's some Astro prize packs. So be sure to tune in at live.gearsofwar.com, link up your account. You can get some of these sick weapon skins. And then, of course, type !Astro in the chat. We're going to be doing a stream giveaway as well. We'll decide that closer to the grand finals time. We'll give you more details there, but you can enter right now. So type in !Astro if you're tuned in. And then, you know what? Blaze, I need a little bit of a breather after that first semifinal. It was a little intense, so let's throw it to quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with semifinal number 2. Stay tuned.
Nice play. Woo!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the $10,000 Astro Battles 2v2 Spring Major. We just saw an intense semifinal number 1. We're going to get into semifinal number 2 shortly. Blaze, just to touch on it real quick. Are you good? Are you recovered?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to continue? Beautiful.
I am good. I'm recovered. I am ready. The first map got me nice and loose, ready for the finals. But we still got one more semifinals to watch, and we got a new team here in the semifinals that we have not seen before. But this is our 7th team in Xovios and Powers, but they've been grinding throughout most of the regular season. They had to take out a team that upset Vexies and Enzum, and now they have to go up against a top tier duo, a duo that's been a champion in the past, and that's going to be Handles and Acels.
Yeah,
our defending champions at that.
Handcells, the defending champions, the 3rd seed.
Put some respect on their name, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They've been grinding. I mean, since the beginning of Astro Battles, they've been here. They've been a force. They've been doing extremely well, but I'm excited to see that new face, the new names, Noe and Powers, coming through here in the semifinal off of that low brawn upset against Avexies and Enzum. They said, how much is this tournament worth? All right, we're going to enter. So they showed up. They made it to the semifinals here today, and Powers getting a clean kill onto Acels there in the background. The 2v1 Noe going to get one in the books as well, and we're tied up 1 round to 1 here in the 2nd semifinal.
So if you've never seen Xovios and Powers play before in 2v2 Astro Battles, you know, they are kind of new here towards the semifinals. But to give you a little idea of who they are in the Gears esports world, Noe is the defending champion of our mid-split playoffs with Team Hive. And Powers is honestly, and probably not even arguably, the best individual player that we have in our game currently, playing for E United. So these guys coming together as a duo. So we know that they can play. We know that they can game, but can you game and play when it comes down to 2v2 Astro Battles? We know that there's levels to it and there's different sides of the beast. And when it comes down to this side, Handles and Acels have been dominating. So let's see if Xovios and Powers can find that synergy to take down a duo that has been meshing for a very long time.
Yeah, and Powers does a great job taking down Acels early on there. We see some damage coming through. Going to be very weak. Handles down as well. And I think that might actually play to their advantage a little bit. Noe, a.k.a. Xovios, and Powers, they're kind of a new team that, you know, they've been entering, I'm sure, competing, but Handles and Acels really haven't had to go up against them in the semifinals, and that might be just enough of the curveball that Noe and Powers need to take this one, essentially on that surprise factor, because Handles and Acels have been competing against the usual suspects, the TJs, the Demises. But all they really need to do is stick to their game plan as we see their rounds being exchanged. But Handles and Acels coming away with the 1 round lead right now.
Yes, they are. Handles and Acels, man. They know that even though in 2v2 Astro Battles that, you know, this duo, Xovios and Powers, have not really made it to this point a lot in the past, that they're going to be a difficult duo to fight because they're difficult individual players to fight. Handles goes down early, but Acels gets the double kill. Acels wins his 1v1, turns around and knows that he only has a little bit of time to really win this fight against his opponent before, 1, his opponent is able to wrap around and get the revive, or 2, the guy that he down taps up. So he has some difficult decisions to make, but he made the right ones, and he clutches up for his duo now at the mid box, going for the initial shot, but Powers juked him out a bit. Nice moves by him. They're gonna be able to lock in their 3rd round.
Yeah, a great answer back from Powers as well in that round. You know, you kind of lost well, in a sense, they had the player down, but they had the advantage there. Lost that round, but came back with an answer. I like that. Maybe a little bit closer here in the 2nd semifinal between these two teams. We'll have to see if either one of these teams has a big breakaway, a big breakout like TJ and Demise did. But so far, been back and forth. Noe playing this one patient, looking for those angles to help out his teammate Powers. It is Acels, though, with a great shot. Can be taking down Powers first, but Noe answers back. Handles goes down. Now Acels has to make a play. A lot of damage. The bricks are coming out.
So much to break down there. Powers and Xovios tried to 2v1 Acels early on. Acels did a fantastic job holding his own. Then while he's waiting for his teammate, he gets first blood, but his opponent trying to make the play. I think that was Noe, did a fantastic job down in Handles. Handles crawls away to the outskirts of the map. That's always the play, but Assails, he wins the 1v1 in the end to lock in around. But this one, they're not going to be too lucky, because as I'm breaking that one down, Powers comes out, cleans up 2 kills, and him and Noe are going to quickly respond. So just a one-round deficit for them currently, and we'll see if they can tie it up right now.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of answering, back and forth, usually off of Handles or Assails making a big play. They do a great job of stopping that momentum, but what Noe and Powers need to do now is get some momentum on their side. Powers does just that with the early down onto Assails, but Handles is there to get the revive. So now it is Noe into the 2v1, not gonna live long there, and a 2-round lead has been regained on the backs of that play from Handles and Assails.
All right, let's see if they can build off of this one. If they can kind of pad that lead just a bit more as we get here towards the late game, because that's where you want that cushion at. Just to kind of, you want as much momentum as you can get towards the end of these games. But Powers is going to get the first shot here on Assails. He's actually able to take over that left-hand angle, comes back, gets the kill. Going to lose his teammate in the process, but now he's just trying to stay alive. Handles is doing a fantastic job harassing multiple angles, and he's going to be able to catch Powers off that second wrap shot. Beautiful work for him, and they're going to be 3 rounds away from locking in map number 1.
Yeah, just a beautiful job from Handles, kind of threatening multiple angles on his approach so that he could essentially keep his opponent guessing and then finish him off, since he knew he had that damage invested.
Now, Handles, he gets out wide, gets this pillar control. You're going to have Zovios and Powers with control on the opposite end, but Noe's working his right-hand advantage to just push Handles back on the opposite end just a bit and get some free shots in. He knows that he's not going to be the one to make the play in this moment, playing it more defensively closer to the spawn, but Handles goes on an aggression, gets focused by Powers and Noe, retreats, regroups with Assails. Now, the fight is going to be in the favor of Zovios and Powers, and not much Handles can do in the scenario. The quick kill, but couldn't turn around in time to get reset for Powers. I know he's second guessing going for the kill on Noe there, but great effort there from him, because sometimes it's difficult just to even get that one shot, that one down, to even give yourself an opportunity in a 1v1.
Yeah. What was interesting is, from the beginning of that round, it seemed like Handles and Assails were just wanting to play for pistols on those pillars, but then Handles decided to make a play, ended up taking a lot of damage. Assails stepped up to assist, alleviated some of that pressure, but ended up going down as well. And it all kind of crumbled, but Handles gonna step up here, get the buddy up in the process.
What made that play so special, Frank, is that Handles at one point in that round said, "F it, I'm dead. Let me just try to do something for my teammate. Let me just try to help him out." And then he gets the chunk, turns around and gets the down. So he ends up making the perfect play in the end, never giving up. But I know the thought came into his mind that, damn, I'm dead.
Yeah. This is an all-in. He's pushing all the chips into the center of the table with that play, and he's just lucky that he hit something on the river. But here we have Powers. Is able to clean up the cell before he taps up. Yeah, he had to disengage that and make that play, and now we have the 1v1. Handles has a bit of
that hurt. I felt that one.
I was just about to say, too, like I recoiled in my chair here in the studio because I passed gas a little bit. I felt it in my gut. I was fully clenched. So thankfully, no one else in the studio has to deal with the repercussions of that. But yeah, like he hit just enough damage to make that one life-threatening. But thankfully, I'm sure on behalf of Handles and Assails, and the misroll from Noe comes through. Powers just going to approach and say, "You really set me up like that, huh?" And Handles going to clean that one as well. As Handles and Assails able to take map number 1 pretty convincingly. There was a little bit of early back and forth, but it was essentially just stringing together little runs, 2 rounds in a row, 3 rounds in a row, that really separated Handles and Assails as your victors there in that first map.
Man, and currently we are 1 map away for Handles and Assails to give us a rematch of our last major, the Winter Major, where they went up against TJ and Demise. And what does that tell me? that consistency matters. Stick with your duos, folks, okay? Even if it's not working out at first, go back again, play it, you know, get some more reps in, okay? Maybe you're just 100 reps short. Who knows? But just keep sticking at it, because these long-standing duos, it doesn't matter how good the players are in their respective 4v4 teams, how good the players are individually. In Astro battles, the chemistry of the duos matter, and it comes down to seconds in a lot of these rounds. It's a science, man. And these players, man, they understand it, and it's always teaching us something every single week. But they know how to set the pace. They know where to find their advantages, and it's the reason why they are as dominant as they currently are.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it is like, it's an experience thing, right? You get comfortable with your duo. You got to be able to celebrate, you know, the victories, but also learn from the losses. If you have someone like a duo you can stick with, and you can lose well together, that's somebody to stick with, you know? And I think these duos are examples of that, because we see them week after week. Even if they take a hard loss, they're like, all right, we'll see you in the next qualifier, and they come out, and we've seen upsets like that happen in the past. But it is like the teams that have stuck together the longest. Like, looking at this list, your top 4 now are essentially the teams who have been competing since day number 1, season 1 in Astro battles. Even though Avexis and Enzym got upset, you know, there's always new talent. You always have to stay at the top of your game. But it is TJ and Demise, Handles and Nacelles. We've seen Noe before. We've seen Powers before. So it's a lot of these teams that compete. Rushy and Icy, again. You know, it's the teams that compete time after time, who end up performing well in the long run here in Astro battles, make it to the $10,000 Astro battles 2v2 spring major, and who end up making it to the grand finals to compete for that first place $4,000 grand prize. But here we'll have to see what Noe and Powers are made of. Are they going to take us to our first map number 3 of the evening, or are Handles and Nacelles going to punch their ticket to the grand finals? We are about to find out.
Yes, sir. It's map number 2. Come on, Zovios and Powers, show us what you're made out of. We know how good your individual skill is, but can you take over in 2v2 Astro battles against some defending champions? And they say, Blaze, just give us some time to work. We'll prove you wrong. We'll prove you right. Wrong, right? Yeah, I don't know if they can do it.
They're about to prove something. They're going to prove something. They're going to prove something. But definitely a strong first round for Noe, Zovios, and Powers. I mean, you know, don't count them out, I think. You know, we can talk about experience, teamwork, this, that, and the other, but it is all about hitting your shots on the day. And on this map, it is definitely Powers and Noe hitting their shots.
Man, so far, what a dominant 2 rounds there from Nelm. And I expect them to be very good on this map, because when I see Foundation Med, I think about Gears of War 4, Foundation, Escalation, you know, all the power weapons that were mid-map, and the front spawn players having to be dominant in this area. Noe and Powers was those respective players on their team, so they know this terrain. They know the distance between covers very, very well. So I want to see them dominate this map, and after 3 rounds, they are looking like they're going to do just that.
Huge play out of Powers there. And I saw Carb King in the chat saying 4 racks for first place. Yeah, 10 racks on the day, my dude. First place getting $4,000, second $2,000, and it goes down the line from there. But Powers says, yeah, how much? I'm going to make plays like this. Answering Handles and Nacelles pressure. Noe on the back end as well. Powers and Nacelles takes him down with the quickness, and it is a swift 4-0.
The way I like to look at the prize pool is that if it was a 5v5 tournament, first place would have been 10K, you know? The way that they split it. So, you know, they still getting 2K a piece. You know, it's still a nice chunk of change, man. It was a beautiful chunk of change for 2v2 Astro battles, man. I wish I could play. Yeah, I wish I was as good as these guys.
Right? Yeah. I mean, even if you're finishing, you know, 3rd through or 4th, that's $1,000 a rack, if you will. And finally, Handles and Nacelles getting on the board, breaking up some of that momentum that Zovios and Powers had building. So good to get 1 round in, but still a little bit more work to do to call this one close.
All right, yeah, a little bit more work for these guys to do indeed. And after those first 3 rounds, I was questioning them at first, but Yeah, Sales, man. If I know one thing, is to never doubt him. He knows how to find a way to get out of any difficult situation, and he's going to take charge, playing aggressive off his right hand. Gets the first down. Now he's going to take charge of the next fight with a beautiful wrap shot.
Yes,
cuts
sir.
back in the perfect amount of time to clean up his kill, and that's a Sales for you. You never count this guy out in any rendition of Gears of War. It could be 2v2, 4v4, execution, 5v5, escalation. It does not matter. He is always ready to play.
Yeah, and Acels is that, like, we look for him to make a lot of these big plays to get himself and Handles back in it, and he does just what he needs to there. We have Handles watching again. They're pressuring out Noe. He is going to go down all on Powers now. Going to retreat to the pillars, 2 on the box for Handles and Acels. They're pushing up, a little bit of a wide angle. Try to split this one. Powers needs to make a play, but the damage over time, there is nothing you can do. And here, Handles and Acels now 1 round away from tying up map number 2.
Also, you know, on the flip end, ever since they dropped General Hoffman, man, the Acels have been playing out of his mind. Yo, it's like he got a little bit better, man. Something about characters in Gears of War, okay? You know, like if I got Dom, I'm playing my best, okay? If I got, you know, Dom Prescott, Jace, Dale, you know, I'm gonna be a little bit better than, you know, if I'm playing with Barrett or Carmine or something. But hey, let us know, who is your main character in the chat? If you're playing in 2v2 Astro battles, who would you be playing with in the grand finals? As we're all tied up 4-4, man. This is going to be a close one. We got plenty of time in this series.
I'll tell you what, Blaze, they might have to start introducing a picks and bans for characters, not because of any advantage or because they have special skills, but sometimes you're just like vibing out with your guy. Like you identify with his voice lines, you're in the same groove, you're kind of moving and shaking with him. So it might actually be an advantage to, yeah, like if I'm playing against Blaze, yeah, I'm banning Dom. Like I'm not letting him, he's not vibing out. Next thing you know,
it's gonna be Ram, Theron Guard, Coltrane, and Dizzy, okay?
Right. Yeah.
In the grand finals. Like, wow, this is a unique group of characters here, okay? You're gonna have Crumpus in here, all the big boys.
All the beefy boys in the grand finals. We gotta make it happen, but Noe and Powers, can they make it happen against Handles and Acels here? There's Noe getting down too, cleaning them up. They're trying to do it. They're trying to make a run at this one.
Yeah, they are definitely making a run at this one, folks, okay? As they take the next 2 rounds, Zovios and Powers know that when it comes down to their focus, Acels is their guy. Try to get some early damage on him on the mid box. Take control of the round. Powers playing these pillars against Handles. Actually, I take that back. He's playing pillars against Acels, and it's Noe and Handles on the mid box by mistake, but now 1v1, and Noe is going to be able to take down Handles and keep the streak alive.
Man, as this match progresses, it just starts to feel like Zovios and Powers playing a little bit more cracked than Handles and Acels. You saw the movement on that mid box, moving and shaking, throwing out the damage at the same time. I mean, Noe, Zovios, and Powers are looking to make this play, force that map number 3. It's all going to be on Handles and Acels, but Noe takes down Handles. Acels answers back with a down as well. Sudden death, the 1v, but it's Noe saying no, no, no. Map number 3 might be on the menu.
Yeah, Noe read him like a book, guys. He read him like a book right there. And we will see our third 4-round streak of this map. We'll see if the pattern continues and the tables are going to turn back into the hands of Handles and Acels over here on the other end. But too early to tell, because it just takes one more round for it pretty much be 9-4. And when it's 9-4, you're not going to come back from that one. So this is huge from Handles. It's him versus Powers. Powers rolls out wide. The miss roll is there, and that is something rare that we see from Powers. It just shows the nerves here in the semifinals.
More rolls than a country buffet on that one. That was a scrappy little final round, but Handles coming out on top.
More rolls than me on Christmas break, okay?
You see me slouched on that couch. I am not competing. These are gamer leaned in on their chair, inches away from their monitor. They can smell the LEDs, Blaze. They can smell them on this one. Handles, though, smells blood in the water. Able to take down Powers. All on Noe now. Gets the trade, and Acels left up to clean up that round. It's back and forth.
It is, right? Like, no way we get tied up. No way it gets tied up 8-8, Frank. Because this is the thing is, when you do have 8 9, and 10, like those 3 rounds are so important because especially when you have such a lead, your opponent looks at the scoreboard and he's like, damn, 9-6, we got to be perfect. That holds a lot of pressure. Sales is feeling that pressure currently. So with him having to be perfect, what does he do here? Playing the pillar perfectly, dodging shots the best that he can, but now him and Handles cannot fail. If not, we're going to All Fathers Arena to break this one and see who's going to the grand finals.
I mean, I just feel like Xovios and Powers are playing with a little bit more, for lack of a better word, swagger right now. Like the plays they're making look more aggressive and look more confident than what Handles and Acels are doing. And then if that's, any indication of the way this series is going to go, Handles and Acels need to turn it up. They need to match that energy because Noe is just taking over right now. The 1v and the roll. Acels gonna go down. We're going to map number 3.
Handles and Acels, they couldn't close it out there. Xovios and Powers just proved to be too much. Now, like you said, Frank, we're going to All Fathers Arena, but fantastic job there for Noe and Powers, getting us to our first map number 3 of the day. Not going down without a fight. And we talked about it all season long that when it comes down to the majors, we see duos come out of nowhere, looking to make upsets, looking to make these runs that we don't expect with the lower seeds. And seed 7, Xovios and Powers, man, we haven't seen them in the semifinals all season long. So today is a treat to watch them try to go perfect and take down some of these duos who've been collecting majority of the money throughout the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. And to take a look at the bracket kind of real quick as we prep for this map number 3, the deciding map in the second semifinal, they took down the team playing under Vitakill. Shock and Vital is who Xovios and Powers took down.
Talented duo.
Yeah, and then some other teams. But the big thing is, like, they are that duo who has worked their way through the bracket. Like, we always mention that kind of going in to the majors is it's still open, right? If you compete it, you're going to have a higher seed. You're going to have a seeding advantage, but you can still come in and grind your way through the bracket. And that's exactly what Xovios and Powers have done here. And now they're potentially shaking up the bracket in a major way if they're able to topple Handles and Acels.
Yeah, man, but that's proven to be a difficult task, but one these guys are ready for. Okay, we're going to a map number 3 on All Fathers Arena. So what is going to be different on All Fathers Arena than we've seen on the previous 2 maps? Well, number 1, we're going to be having a different layout rotating every 3 rounds. So we're going to have a different layouts rounds 1, 2, and 3, and then rotation is going to go back around. And each one of these layouts, you're going to have to see a different skill trait out of these duos. And we're going to be breaking it down for you round by round, but you're going to have to prove to be versatile on this map. You're going to have to take note because as we get through these cycles, you need to remember what your opponent did the round before and figure out a way how you can get a leg up. And then on some layouts, you just got to have pure confidence and be ready to hit shots. You can't have no fear in your heart, which is this layout on your screen with the elevation. You cannot go up there and try to go blow for blow, tit for tat, shot for shot. It doesn't work that way. You need to be ready to chunk your opponent, get that down, and take control.
Yeah, and I like that the 3 layouts kind of highlight 3 very distinct play styles here on this first layout. A little bit more flat. You're going to see a little bit more teamwork shining, a couple more rotations, trying to essentially box your opponents into a corner and then take them out that way. As we see Noe absolutely moving. You see him trying to work these angles, spotting both opponents, keeping an eye on everyone. If you have any dizziness or any other symptoms, don't worry, you're fine. It's just you're watching Noe's point of view.
Man, hey, if you've been watching Gears Esports for a while, if you've never been on a boat before, okay, Noe will get you ready for any type of seasickness, any type of motion sickness you may prove to feel in those moments.
Yep. Grab a water, pop a Tums, you're gonna be fine. It's just 2v2 Gears.
Now, who's gonna make the move first? How much time do we have on the clock, Frank? Are we under a minute yet?
Not under a minute yet. No, we haven't popped the timer. There's no countdown in play. We've still got a little bit of posturing to do. If one of these teams gets some damage advantage, you might see the Cell's going to accidentally hop the wall, hurdle right into Powers, and now Handles has to hold on if he wants to try to draw this one out. Or, of course, he can always make a miracle happen, but he's moving a little bit of... Ooh, yeah, taking a lot of damage. That's going to be Powers and Noe. Xovios taking that that map there. That route.
Yeah, Sales knew he made a blunder hopping over that cover. Pretty much gave his opponent a free opportunity at getting that shot. So he goes down, handles can't clutch up. Now, when we come to the elevated layout, this is pure confidence, and I'm expecting Powers and Noe to win this one 9 out of 10 times, but we'll see if I'm right, because handles and the sales are not no slouch. They work smarter, not harder, and we're seeing that currently as they connect with those L triggers in. It seems like it was Powers or whoever the player that was screen left was the focus fire for them. And as soon as they got him down, they made quick work of the next. So good job to them taking that one. Now we're going to be at the trench. But this layout showcases is 1v1 skill. Typically, you can't really rotate to help your opponent, because if you go in that trench, you're asking to get shot for free. But the 1v1 being won by Powers, and Noe wins this battle as well. So good job to them.
Yeah, I think this one might be, just looking at the 3 layouts kind of and seeing what we saw during that first rotation. Xovios and Powers, with their strength and ability in 1v1s, I might say Arena favors them slightly.
Yeah,
I think handles
two out of 3 layouts seems like it could be in their favor for sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be on handles and cells to kind of adapt to that and recognize that, say, okay, we have to rely on our teamwork and really play off of each other more, because the way these 1v1s isolate kind of plays in Powers and Xovios' favor.
I will say this, that the ultimate kryptonite to the playstyle of Powers and Noe has to be a player like a Cell. So he's going to be one who hits his L triggers, who's going to, you know, kind of take those fights out of one-shot range, putting out damage and being smart with how he approaches them. And we kind of saw right there as he was pushing up screen left, got that initial damage in on Powers. Him and handles, they take charge and they lock that round in. They lost it the first go around, but as we come towards this layout, they did win this one. Let's see how Sales and handles are going to get the first bit of damage in. Powers is the focus. He takes 3 little shots from his Sales, which wasn't good enough, and Powers cleans up both kills.
Whew, I am getting excited for this duo right here. Xovios and Powers looking to shake up this semifinal. It really feels like handles and cells being forced to play on that back foot. Maybe a little bit of surprise as well with what Noe and Powers are throwing at them. Here you have the wide lanes, the 1v, the trench layout. Noe handles, and it's all... I mean, Powers can just chill, but Noe says, yeah, I'll come across the lane, help you out a little bit. 5 rounds to 1 now in favor of Xovios and Powers.
Whew. When it comes down to mid and arena, these new school maps, man, Xovios and Powers, they've been playing phenomenal on them, but they gotta stay consistent, and that's what they've been doing so far. But these last 5 rounds that they need to earn is going to be the hardest against handles and cells, so we'll see how consistent they can be. As I want to say, these squads have split this layout. We are entering our 3rd rotation, so they have split this one.
And I think what's scary to me, too, is that Noe and Powers feel just as comfortable slowing it down, playing it this way, than the next layout, the headbutt, the hill layout, where it's full go, you know, pedal to the metal.
Which we split as well so far. The only consistent one that Noe and Powers has won is the trench.
Yes, yeah, so that trench is kind of playing to their strengths the most, but I do respect that they can slow it down like this and then don't miss a beat going into the next layout. I think that's a big sign that they're feeling very confident and very comfortable right now in map number 3 in the semifinal.
And this is kind of like the trench as well. You know, it's just that it's the flat terrain, but you do have the ability to kind of push the 1v1 lane. It's just that your opponent can get help quicker because, you know, he doesn't lose those few seconds going downhill and uphill. So that's why we see a lot of 2v1s and players leave their individual fights to quickly be in position to help their teammate on the opposite end. But Powers playing around, screen right a little bit with his cells, trying to get him out of cover, bait him out a bit, got him a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, and on this layout, this is kind of the typical meta as we have 30 seconds remaining now in this round. So that's going to be counting down until a potential draw. But this layout really is that initial damage, and then you look for another advantage. And if you know, we've seen this play slower and slower as the meta has evolved on this layout, as teams have kind of cracked the code on what the best thing to do is. And if they don't have a strong advantage in damage early on, you'll typically see this. as we're at 5 seconds remaining. I don't think this round is going to be marked in favor of anyone, as Cells and Handle's going to look to maybe push up, but no, we're going to draw this one out, go to the headbutts. But this kind of plays out in, you know, Xovios and Power's favor. If that one's going to be a stalemate, Handles and Cells really kind of rely on that teamwork, and that plays to their advantage. So if they're getting starved out on that layout, then Powers and Noe looking pretty strong here. So we go to the headbutt. Here we'll see who gets the initial damage. Ooh, Powers, bricks, Cells, down, Powers, Handles, down as well. They might take this
This
one.
ain't looking good.
No,
this ain't looking good for Handles and Cells in map number 3. And these last 2 rounds pretty much kind of solidified that for me, that if this comeback is going to be monumental if they can make it, because Powers and Xovios, they have complete control of this map. Powers is getting really comfortable. He's taking these 1v1 fights with a lot more confidence. The Cells is going to make him pay. Noe trying to get aggressive on Handles, but Handles knows he needs to just stay alive, waiting for his teammates to be able to get an angle to help him out in this fight. Both playing that right hand advantage, but they're not getting too wide on Noe, but they will find the death blow there to get their second round on the books. But they need a few more than that. Let's see if they can pick up off that one.
Yeah, they need to shift this in their favor heavily here, because I think the only thing that Xovios and Powers have to be cautious of is feeling a little overconfident. And I think that 1v1 that Powers took maybe was a little bit reflective of that, but they're the professionals, not me, so I trust them to make the adjustments accordingly. But that might be the one thing, is you kind of rest on your laurels a bit when you have a 6-round-to-1 lead over a top 4 seeded team in Astro battles. That's going to be the one thing, is just they have to keep their expectations versus reality in check a little bit, and just play it safe, play it smart. Don't feel confident. Feel confident in your 1v1s and your approaches, but don't feel overconfident, I think, is the biggest thing for them right now. And we're going to see this one play out slow. We'll go to the forced 1Vs, and I think that plays into Noe and Power's favor just a little bit, but we will have to see. I wouldn't mind Handles and Cells getting a little bit more aggressive here. At this point, it's kind of looking like you got nothing to lose. I know you want to play it safe, but it might be the last thing Powers and Xovios are expecting. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. No countdown timer just yet, so the clock is not a factor. I'll just be looking for someone to maybe either overextend or take a little bit too much damage.
Now, in this scenario, Noe and Powers, they could get aggressive if they want to, since they do have such a big lead, but it seems like they don't even like being aggressors on this layout. So they're just going to be relaxed and say, hey, man, you guys are behind. If you want to win this round, by all means, come challenge us. If not, we have the advantage against you guys on the next 2 layouts. We know that we got you scared on the trench. We know that we got you scared on the elevator layout as well. So Powers and Noe, man, they're playing to their strengths. Yeah. The Cells and Handles need to figure out some way how to take a few of these flat layouts if they want to get back in this series.
5 seconds left on this round. You see the damage flying out now. Somebody trying to get an advantage, but Handles just has to play back his Cells. That is the one thing, to play to that stalemate, you kind of just got to send one player in and you stay safe. If he ends up getting the pick, then you can try to go for the 2v1 and close the round out before the clock ticks down. And that's kind of how that layout seems to be playing out, especially in a $10,000 grand final. Can't really blame them for that.
It could be their last map too as well. Slow the game down. Don't let your opponent run away with this one. So I don't blame them for that. In this round, Powers, he straight dominates against Handles, and if you run down a ramp, you pretty much have no chance whatsoever at winning the round. He comes back up on the other side, but you see how much damage he takes before he can even get in position to be a factor. And Noe and Powers, man, they say, hey, rounds 8, 11, 14, and 17, we plan on closing this one out round by round, little by little, inch by inch. They're trying to add an extra $1,000 to their bank account, making it to the grand finals.
Absolutely. This is developing a map 3, $1,000 difference between 3rd and 4th and 2nd. So big in the prize pool as well. Noe seems to sense that, is able to take down Handles. The Cells trying to make something happen in the 2v1 is not going to be able to. Noe secures that kill as well. And Xovios and Powers, just 2 rounds away from a dominant map 3 against our number 3 seed Handles and Acels.
Okay, here we go. I said that Handles and Acels, they need to take a few of these flat layouts if they want any chance at winning this, but they have to get that confidence here. Question is, how do they want to engage? You know, it seems like, you know, they've talked about it for a while, and we've drawn this one out the last 2 times we've been here. So what will be different now is the question.
Acels shaking no. Seems to have a different idea in mind for how this final map is going to play out.
I'm not pushing.
Yeah, no. You want to fight? Nah, I'm good. I'll see you on the next layout. I'll see you on the next one. Acels just keeping the fingers warm. That can be a factor as well. Stay loose, stay vibrant. You know, keep your shot on point. But Power's just going to watch him expend all this energy, saying, yeah, the hill layout's coming up next, and I've got your number, Acels. I've got your number. I think I've only got 2 rounds more to take this. So
to just kind of, you know, think what's the best way to engage if you do want to be the first team to engage is probably going mid-map towards those boxes. See if you can base some shots out on your opponent. Maybe cover swap to the opposite box, push a 2v1 with your teammate, help him out in a 1v1. But also, if you take a lot of damage mid-map, you will be closer to your teammate versus you fighting on the outskirts of the map in those kind of 1v1 lanes. But regardless of, is that you want to be able to get your opponent to poke up and hit some shots, but you also want your teammate to be able to trade out fire. Now, we don't have any pistols on the map. The shock grenade has spawned up in his dead center, but to be able to pick that up, you're going to be taking some damage. You don't have no smokes to make your opponent feel uncomfortable and be able to safely pick up that nade at this point. So the options are very slim is what I'm really trying to say here.
Yeah.
But whoever can find a way to get that leg up, get some damage out to kind of set the pace of the fight, it's going to be hard for them to do in a sale. Seems like he had found a way, but he missed the prime opportunity. But regardless, the clock, it was ticking down, and we've drawn LA out 3 times in a row.
Yeah. So Xovios and Powers still just going to need 2 more rounds to move on to the grand finals. And like you mentioned, there is that shock mid-map on that flat layout, but you have to take damage to go get it. And then since it's a 2v2 close quarters, you have to take damage to throw it as well. So it's almost just as risky. But Powers, yeah, he had his number coming into this layout. He's going to take down Handles and Acels. We're going
Haven't lost it.
to the trench layout to decide potentially this one. And Powers and Noe looking to upset our number 3 seed and go against our 1st seed. TJ and Demise in the grand finals. Does it all end here? Powers coming off the rip, bricks onto Acels, but Acels with a brick himself gonna pick up 2, and we're gonna see a couple more rounds yet.
All right, so that layout right there has been Handles and Acels' most successful one up until this point. They only got 1 round on the elevator layout. So it's 2-1 there and 1-2 on the elevation versus their opponent. But this is the one that we've drawn out 4 times in a row. And we're asking ourselves, are we going to see anything different from Handles and Acels? But I guess in their mind, they feel like if their opponent's going to be very passive on these back blocks, as they move up and close the distance between them, they're going to be taking damage, right? And by the time they get into that 1-shot range and that close quarter fight, they're already at 70%. And with the opponents in which they're playing, man, that's almost a death wish.
Yeah.
The shots in which they hit are like in the 80s and the 90s if they don't chunk you off the 1.
Yeah, you just don't get away at percentages like that at this level is basically it. Like, you're not gonna, you're at the hands
you can't
of
take damage and then get into that 1v1 fight finally and get more than 1 opportunity at a good shot.
Right. And good opponents aren't even going to let you get that far, right? You're going to be down before you even approach to get into that 1-shot range where you could make a play. So I think that's why we're seeing this kind of draw out more and more. That initial cover off the spawn, just too cozy. And it's super strong. You've got 2 different heights.
It is.
You've got, you
can secret man on it because it has this, like, you see how he stands up. You can't see the character if he has the right hand and if he's in cover ready to go for the back A. It's just it's a lot of factors to play around with the cover in Gears of War, and these are some thick covers. So unless you're gonna try to take the fight through mid map. But even you have that a mid cover that's right next to these guys, screen right, that you can kind of make a lot of plays around, and you have to be wary of that guy who's playing the opposite side. So these players just feel like this is not a high percentage fight, so they're gonna draw it out. And this is possibly Handles and Sales last map, so they'll take the 50-50 on the elevator layout and take their 1v1 battle on the trench.
Right. So the thing to keep in mind now, as we have 2 seconds remaining on this layout, going to draw out, is if Zovios and Powers don't win on this next layout, they will then be forced to go with the 1v1s, which they've also been favored in. So it's looking pretty strong towards Zovios and Powers because they just need one round here in map number 3 of our second.
This is a slow death for Handles and Sales.
It's tough.
It's just a slow death. You're just watching them flatline little by little, and it was a great season for them. The team kill was the saving grace. They get another round on the board. But I will say this, that if they, hypothetically, if they made a 7-round comeback to get to the grand finals, that's a hell of a resume, because that's probably all they're missing.
Right, and especially because then they'll be going up against their arch nemesis, who they played against in the winter major. But Handles, okay, a little bit of signs of life in the trench layout in the 1v. They're still 4 rounds down. Zovios and Powers just need 1. But it really seems like we're flipping coins here, Blaze, on those layouts. They've kind of min-maxed. So Accels and Handles just need to, we're going to hang out here for a little bit. So I know that I have time to finish this thought.
Yes, you do.
Because we're back to the flat layout. So basically, how this could potentially play out in Handles and Accels' favor is they just win 4 or 5 coin flips in a row. They have the 1v1 layout, which they just won. So if they win
that's their odds.
That's their odds. They have to survive this next layout, this 50-50 coin flip, and then we're talking a series. We're talking a series. The only unfortunate thing is we have to wait about a minute to get to the exciting part.
Yeah, we got intermissions. We got 2-minute intermission breaks between each of the 2-map series coming in between every other odd round or so.
So I guess this is
it's a nice time for timeout, talk strategy.
Yeah,
go get some water, take a bathroom break.
Well, and while we have your attention here, Twitch chat, make sure you're tuned in at live.gearsofwar.com. This is an excellent chance for me to plug this.
Beautiful ad break.
Make sure your account's linked. Yeah, an ad break live during gameplay. Never had this happen on stream before. Make sure your account's linked. You can win some of those awesome skins. And then as well, type !Astro in the chat, which will enter you into an Astro prize pack giveaway. We will draw that winner at the beginning, I think, of grand finals is what we're shooting for, and we'll try to get that confirmed. And then if we get it confirmed, everything's good to go, we'll announce that winner live on stream at the end. So be sure to tune in live.gearsofwar.com. 20 seconds left remaining in this ad break. Thank you for bearing with us, as there's $10,000 on the line. So while this might be boring to watch, you cannot blame these teams, because one, this is $1,000 difference between second place and third through fourth.
And this is why Execution 1.0 never worked out. Okay, I just want to throw that out there, because when money's on the line, some squads just based off their, right-hand advantage, decided to map their own terrain. They didn't want to push. So, and we got Execution 2.0 out, and that's been exciting. That's been awesome to play, and we could talk about that all day when we get back to that next layout. But let's see if Handles and the Sales can win 2 in a row once again. Can they survive, or is Zovios and Powers going to the finals?
No,
the downs, the revives are there, the kills come through. 1v1, and they will survive another round.
All right. I mean, they're playing this how they should be playing it.
We need to take the controller and now scroll all the way across.
That's right. That was I've never seen a round 19 in 2v2 Astro battles where it was 9 rounds to 5. But we did, and now it's 9 rounds to 6. So, Handles and Accels doing what they need to do to claw their way back into this one. Noe putting some shots onto Handles. Handles catching a brick. Powers is going to take down Accels. It is all on Handles now to make a play, but he is not going to do it. Not today. It's upset city. here in the Astro Battle Spring Major as Xovios and Powers are going to face off against TJ and Demise for $4,000 first place prize.
Yeah, congrats to Xovios and Powers. They came out today and they played their asses off, man. Good job to them, because Handles and Acels is no easy duo to get over on. And you saw the amount of patience it took from them in this map just to kind of close it out. They had respect for them on the opposite end, and they played their game well. After they got off to that 5-1 lead, they just slowed it down entirely and let Handles and Acel try to get that momentum back round after round, and they made it as difficult as possible for them. So I applaud them on that one, making sure that they can guarantee that extra $1,000 in their bank account. Now they got to go up against the Kings, the first seed, TJ and Demise. And as we saw in our first semifinals, they're not playing around.
A brutal first semifinal out of TJ and Demise. I mean, they ran through it. They beelined it to the grand finals, and Xovios and Powers drew it out a little bit. So we've kind of had each end of the spectrum there. If Xovios and Powers haven't had a brutal bracket thus far, which they have, it's about to get much more challenging for them going up against TJ and Demise. So that's going to be your grand finals for this evening. Again, first place going to be taking home $4,000. Second place taking home $2,000. This is where all the money is. Again, be sure you're linked up at live.gearsofwar.com to... There's the graphic. There's the skins. All right, getting hyped up for skins too. We had to after we had. That's the most stalemates we ever had. I'm getting hyped over anything now, Blaze. So there's some of the skins you can win for tuning in at live.gearsofwar.com. And then, of course, the Astro prize pack. Be sure to type !Astro in chat to enter. We're going to be, this is essentially maybe your last chance to get entered in, as we're going to be doing that drawing during the grand finals. So grand finals are set. We're going to throw it to a brief commercial break, get all those players in the lobby, and see who is your $10,000 Astro Battles 2v2 Spring Major champions. When we return, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Nice play. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the grand finals of the $10,000 Astro Battles 2v2 Spring Major. Before we get into the details, Blaze, are you ready?
Oh, yes, I am ready for this one, man. I couldn't ask for a better grand finals. You have your first seed in TJ Demise, who have been dominating all season long. And now we have an underdog pick coming from the lower side of the bracket. Zovios and Powers are 7th seed of Astro Battles. And we know how consistency means everything when it comes down to this format. But today they are proving that, hey, man, we're ready on game day, major time, okay? When it's the weekend that we have to be our best, we're going to show up. And they've got to the grand finals, and their matches have been getting difficult round after round. And this is going to be their toughest task.
Yep. Zovios and Power said, oh, wait, how much? Okay, yeah. We'll be there. We'll be there. And they made it here. They're ready to contest the Kings, though. TJ and Demise, our most winningest team this entire season. The first place seed, one of the strongest duos and longest lasting duos that we've seen in Astro Battles. So if Zovios and Powers pull this one out, it's going to be amazing. But TJ and Demise, you know they're going to come out and play too, so it's going to be exciting either way. The map rotations, I guess we'll get into that briefly before we get into game. We're going to go from mid to arena to boxes to annex, back to mid if we need that game number 5. But Blaze, with the way TJ and Demise played that first semifinal, we might barely make it to boxes. It might be a demoralizing defeat by the end of arena, and it just might be in the books. We'll have to see how they're feeling. Are they going to be merciful today?
The most important thing is to have the lead before you get to Annex, if it goes that far, okay? You want to be up 2-1 in this series when Annex comes around, because that's going to be a difficult map. You don't want to have to play perfect there, because that's really a coin flip 50-50 battle, and we've seen teams, it's not a lot of strategy you bring out on Annex. You just have to hit your shots, and you have to be quicker.
The strategy on Annex is be better, I think is the main strategy there. But it looks like we're loading into mid, gonna make sure everything is all set. But I'm excited to see a grand final. I mean, the sun was shining on my way into the studio today. Birds were chirping. It's a spring major, springtime, blossoming, new beginnings. Will it be the new beginning of a dominant duo, Zovios and Powers, or will TJ and Demise remain at the top? Here we have the mid box, a battle of the century. TJ going up against Noe, does a little fake, takes a lot of damage in the process. Noe gonna take down Demise. TJ comes through with the trade, but it is Zovios and Powers taking the first round of the grand finals.
Ooh-wee, Zovios and Powers strike first. And you're gonna see 2 Hive clan tags in here, because Noe and TJ are teammates in 4v4 Gears Esports. Also got some representation here from Elevate Gaming and E United as well, with Powers and Demise. So 3 orgs being represented in our grand finals, but it is one duo so far who has set the pace, and that's Zovios and Powers out with a 2-round lead here on mid. And if you think back to the matchup that they just played against Handles and Sales, they dominated on mid.
Yeah, super strong performance on mid. Even arena ended up being 10 rounds to 6, because Zovios and Powers played the strategy perfectly. They recognized their weaknesses and said, all right, this one's a draw. Here we have Demise, though, making a good play onto Powers. Going to take down Noe as well. So they're keeping up with them, keeping up with the pace. You don't want to let either one of these teams go on that long streak, because they will close it out. Neither one of these teams really getting upset. No crazy swings in the opposite direction. So they're looking to get the lead and keep the lead. But TJ and Demise, kind of a slower start of a team as well. So they're kind of a second half, second quarter, back half, back 9 type squad. Woo! But they're turning up early. Demise going in. TJ does go down, though. Noe comes through. Going to clean them up. The 1v TJ versus Zovios. Full red. Does TJ give him the respect? Does he let him get his health back? All right, we've got the 100 versus 100.
This is like watching Marcus Phoenix versus Dominic Santiago, the Brotherhood. Why do they gotta go against each other, folks?
Brothers. Don't do them like this.
TJ is doing a fantastic job trying to survive in that fight, but most importantly, shout out to Noe for clutching up the 1v2. It was his teammate who went down first. He got the first blood, was able to get the downs off the revive, and just fantastic job to him for locking in that round.
Yeah, absolutely. Noe and Powers coming out super strong here in map number 1, contesting the Kings. TJ and Demise. Demise has been doing a great job off the rip, though, taking down Powers. I mean, he is carrying a lot. TJ might be even surprised, might be shocked that Demise is carrying this hard. Noe fighting for his life. Gets onto this back pillar, but you see TJ and Demise from the left, from the right. It is going to be no for Noe in that round.
Yeah, they waste no time whatsoever on that 2v1, just angling them out, making sure that they can keep them weak, hitting spreads. Even if you just hit one pellet on them, that's going to stop that health regen from kicking in and keep him panicking behind that cover. And you want to keep your opponent uneasy at all times. Damage is currency. And Zovios and Powers so far, they got the share of the bank account for now. Demise been doing a good job defending against Powers on these pillars. You see him taking some shots out to the left, tries to make something happen mid-map, but he's quickly angled out here. And that's going to be Zovios and Powers still controlling the tempo of this map with a 2-round lead.
Yeah, it seems to be hinging a lot on that mid-box matchup between Zovios and TJ. Definitely, TJ has a strong opponent here in mid-box, and a lot of their strategies on mid relies on TJ getting that early advantage. So it's been a great job from Noe, just absolutely making plays left, right, and center. Comes off the mid-box, but we've got the 1v2 with the roll. TJ, this is grand finals. You can't be rolling out like that now.
He had that fight under his control. When we saw him with that back A off his left hand there, it was a nice spread. He honestly could have just blind fired over the top of that box and probably won the fight, but the misroll comes through and Zovios is going to be able to capitalize on him. And Zovios is going to be Noe, if you guys haven't figured that one out yet, his alter ego, but doesn't matter who's playing because that's a quick double kill coming out there for TJ and Demise, and they're going to be 2 rounds away from tying this one up if they get close. They're right close now, but if they get closer.
If it gets closer a little bit, face to face, eye to eye, level to level, maybe just kind of do a little butterfly kiss on that mid box. Whoever it is, if it's Noe, if it's Zovios, whichever ego is out to play, he has been controlling TJ in this matchup. You don't see that dominant presence coming out of TJ here. As we see, we switch over to him. He's full red. Powers gets the call out. Demise goes down in the process. They did manage to get both up. Demise going to come through, take down Noe. Say, TJ, looks like you need a little help there. Let me help you out. A little clippy in the Microsoft Word coming through in the clutch. Demise and TJ getting a round back, keeping it close. Just 1 round down now.
Yeah, Demise has been playing fantastic this map. He played that one very, very well. Keeping his crosshair on his opponent as he is backing up to revive his teammate and switching targets to have to play Noe on the mid box, getting that kill and getting the damage out on Powers. He's doing it all, and he knows exactly what he needs to do to assist his teammate. And when things get difficult, and TJ quickly switches targets to be able to get the down on the outskirts, but now it's a 1v1, him versus Noe. Who comes out on top? Noe trying to get in that one-shot range, misses the back A, and TJ makes him pay for it. We're all tied up 5-5.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful adjustments coming out of TJ and Demise on that one. You saw Demise willing to take some damage to help out the duo TJ on that mid box, adding some pressure to Noe so that Noe couldn't manhandle TJ on that mid box like he'd been doing. And that ties us all up at the halfway point, but Powers, oh no, takes down Powers, and now it's all gonna be on him. Full red. Demise gonna get the down and that kill. A tragedy has struck when the rounds were tied up, and now TJ and Demise have the lead.
A tragedy indeed, because with that first down coming out, that was gonna be a round for Zovios and Powers. I just kind of felt it. I didn't see them letting that one slip away from them, but a blunder there on the side of Noe. We'll see if he can make it up in this round. Powers has been taking a lot of damage from Demise off the start. He knows that he can't take cover on his pillar. He has to play it off the cover, holding that right hand. But 1v2 scenario, beautiful first kill, but did not get the opportunity when the melee came through to clean up the second. And that's 5 rounds in a row for your first seed here, TJ and Demise.
Yeah, and I think that's the threat that TJ and Demise pose, is that they've had so much experience competing in Astro battles and competing together. They're not going to let these, you know, hurdles or uphill battles get in the way of their gameplay. We've seen them make adjustments, and here you have it. Uh-oh, Powers, though. Powers has a different idea. He's moving a little shimmy. Oh, shimmies right into the face of TJ and rips it right off. Disgusting.
I need an aspirin after that one.
Whew, yeah.
You have a migraine for a week taking a shot like that to lose a round. Luckily for TJ and Demise, man, they still have the lead here, and they did a fantastic job winning 5 rounds in a row. But Powers trying to take the momentum back in his favor. He felt the flank on his left. Beautiful job to cut back on the right. Gets to his teammates' protection, and they get this one all tied up 7-7.
Powers hit him with the viral new TikTok dance, and that has given them the momentum they needed to tie this one up at 7s. It's now just
you know what? Honestly, Gears of War players could probably make it on TikTok with all the dance moves that they be performing here in competition.
All the spins, the 180s, the 360s, the wraps, the back A's. They've got a list of moves at their disposal. And TJ and Demise use it in that round to regain the lead over Xovios and Powers.
All right, man. This is a back and forth battle between these two duos. A lot of respect in this lobby, man. These guys are all friends, teammates. They've been playing together for years, but they're pitted against each other now. This is not about whose brother you are. It's not about brotherhood. It's just about who wants to cash in on his first place check, who wants it the most. Noe getting a lot of damage in on Demise off the left, but TJ wastes no time getting close to his teammate. They're going to work together to close out this round.
Yeah, I think this is just that experience of TJ and Demise as they now are on match point in map number 1. They were able to adjust. Like they saw what Xovios and Powers were trying to do, and they alleviated the pressure that they needed to perfectly, and that's opened up the map for them. They recognize Xovios putting a lot of pressure on TJ, so they've shifted their focus. They're now looking to that Demise and Powers fight. You see TJ kind of keeping track of Noe. Ooh, out of position there. They're going to trade through the 1v. This is potentially Demise's time to shine. Noe going to be on the approach there. Demise does have a pretty decent position on this pillar. Doesn't have to make too much work here. Backs Noe off just a little bit.
Yeah, Noe using his movement to fade his opponent out of cover, try to get him on a miss roll, trying to figure out what's the prime opportunity. They both get pistols. It takes a little bit of pistol damage, but not nothing to be alarmed about. Playing off his left hand. As soon as he feels like he get a good amount of damage in, he's going to move in on this fight, but after that initial pistol damage, you see him pull out the shotgun and try to keep hitting a little bit of pellets on the left and on the right to make sure that he can just bring that health down to a safe point where he can move into that one-shot range and feel comfortable. That's his best play in this scenario, especially with Xovios and Powers having to make the comeback. Demise is not going to risk it, but he does move up just a bit more. Stalemate on the board. We're going to a round 18.
And that's smart. Looking at that round stat line, 9 rounds to 7, that's one, if you lose it, you cut that lead down to 1. You just want to get this round and walk out of here. So
yeah,
the smart play by Demise, even though they both had those pistols, he had the damage advantage a couple of times. He knew it wasn't worth the coin toss on that one. So here we'll have the reset. Again, TJ and Demise just need 1 round here. Noe goes out wide left. Powers does get down. Demise and TJ gonna fall in turn. So now just 1 round away from tying it up, forcing that round, well, 19-20 if you count the draw. So it's close. This is much more back and forth than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest. TJ and Demise
are not feeling comfortable in this moment. They know that these 2 rounds can go by in a blink of an eye, and they'll be down a map in his best of 5 series. Demise gets some damage on Powers, tries to get a beautiful spread on Noe, makes it a 1v1 for TJ. The wrap shot is there, and they lock in map number 1, Foundation mid. TJ and Demise strike first, and that's a beautiful round for them.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's the tone. Like, it's all about, in this grand final, setting that tone, taking these early maps, going to be so huge. Again, you know, a little bit of a format change since this is the spring major. Grand final is going to be a best of 5. So we're going to see a couple more maps, the second of which we're going to is that All Fathers Arena. You're going to have to see if it plays out patiently. I'm willing to bet they're going to play it safe, especially now that well, essentially both of these duos know how evenly matched this matchup is, so they're not going to want to give each other an inch because they know they're going to take a yard.
Exactly. I fully agree with you on that one, Frank. It is a close matchup between these guys. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to see something similar to what we saw previously with that flat layout being drawn out multiple rounds. I think by the time we get to the third rotation, we can kind of make that decision right there if it is going to end up happening. But it depends in these first 6 rounds who's going to be able to set the tone on each layout after we get these early reps in, because we saw how dominant Powers and Zovios was against Handles and Acels when it came down to the elevator layout. Also, Powers playing those 1v1 positions in the trenches, it just worked out towards their playstyle. But when it comes down to TJ and Demise, they're definitely going to be a different duo as far as playstyle when it comes down to Handles and Acels. A little bit more aggressive playstyles, I feel like, when it comes down to both of them in these little 1v1 battles. And TJ versus Powers, or if it's TJ versus Noe versus Demise, whoever it may be, man, those 1v1 battles will be consistent throughout the map. And it's going to be nice to kind of break down and see who has a leg up on each opponent.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the case on this iteration or this version of All Fathers Arena between these two duos. Handles and Acels kind of feel like a counterattack duo to me. Like, they'll wait for you to make a move and then kind of dismantle you that way, which in that first flat layout, you know, Zovios and Powers recognized, okay, they're winning this one, but they're winning off of our push. So if we don't push, we draw this one out, we win the other 2. So these first 2 rounds or first 2 rotations through these 3 layouts are going to tell us a lot. And right now, it's a bloodbath. It's a lot of action on this flat layout. Noe and Powers making quick work of TJ and Demise. So that first flat layout going to go in their favor as we move towards the hill.
All right. So beautiful work there for Powers to kind of leave his fight on the other end of the map and help his teammate take the quick 2v1, and they lock in that round. Let's see how is TJ and Demise going to fight him. I know it's going to be head on, but who's going to get the first shot in? The damage is there. The first kill comes through for Powers, but he's down on the ground. But beautiful blind fire over the top. Noe locks this round in for his team, and so far so good to kick off this map. Let's see if they can get a perfect sweep in our first rotation.
Yeah, and one of the things to keep in mind, too, is that this is a similar start to what we saw on mid. You know, Zovios and Powers with the early 2-round lead. The difference in Arena is that you have 3 different layouts, so it's tougher to make those adjustments. You have to wait for a full rotation to make the adjustment on that specific layout. So in this third layout, the 1v, the trench, we see TJ and Demise with a clean victory, so good on them. They are kind of the late bloomer comp as well. That duo, they kind of wait to see how you're going to play it, and then they'll slowly start to dismantle you, just like we saw on mid.
All right, Noe, way more aggressive to start. You see how he pushes up mid-map to kick this one off, just getting some map control, putting himself in a position in case off the start his opponent maybe wants to push the 1v1 against his teammate. He'll be there to help, but this one is starting to slow down now. Noe and Powers say, hey, you know what? We like being a defensive squad on this layout, especially if we have the lead and we're winning it. Trying to see how does TJ and Demise, how do they get aggressive? Seeing if they can take any notes down now they can build off on these later rounds in the series. But both duos mid-map, 2 kills come through on a trade, but the deciding blow comes through with TJ and Demise, and we're all tied up 2-2.
And I think that's the difference between the play styles. When you look at TJ and Demise versus Handles and Acels, TJ and Demise a little bit more comfortable exerting pressure and getting that damage down range, whereas Handles and Acels kind of play that counterattack, the counterplay play style. So ends up working in TJ and Demise's favor there. Here we have Powers, full red, going to be taken down. Noe, though, Will he be able to clutch up here? It's big Noe time in the grand finals.
Yes, sir.
He's able to take down Demise, and they take the lead.
Yeah, great double kill coming out there for the homeboy Zovios, aka Noe, whatever you want to call him. But man, he's on fire here. 4 kills, 2 assists, 4 down so far. He's been making big plays here with his duo Powers to get to these grand finals. But let's see who's going to close it out. Noe. TJ, he wins the fight against his current teammate there. And that's going to be 2 rounds in a row as Powers quickly makes work of Demise there on the other end of the map.
All that this has got me thinking of, Blaze, is that Zovios and Powers lost out on a lot of potential money not competing as regularly in Astro battles. They're looking super strong. They're looking to go toe-to-toe with our most winningest team of this season, TJ and Demise. So it's kind of a where have you been, but you showed up now. We're glad you're here. Zovios and Powers, they are putting on a clinic here for us and how to upset a bracket and how to shock the casters and the audience at the same time. We see a lot of damage coming through. TJ is pushed up a little bit, so we'll see if Powers and Noe try to collapse on him. Demise on the flank as well, trying to weave their way in between, but TJ and Demise gonna end out on top of that scrap as they work their way back within 1.
Yeah, beautiful movement and shots there from Noe, staying alive, finding enough time for TJ to get there and finish off the kills there. He put a lot of damage in as TJ was the first focus. He was like almost like a little bit of fate there too towards the mid map to group up both those players, but he did a good job playing his life. But who's gonna hit the most shots is Noe, who strikes first, gets both kills. Zovios and Powers, they're gonna take a 2-round lead.
2 shots and a down, 1 shot and a kill out of Noe. He is looking super lethal in grand finals. 7 kills so far, you see on his scoreboard, looking real good. Although, you know, TJ and Demise ended up, I would say, squeaking out a victory in map number 1. It looks like Zovios and Powers trying to turn this one around. TJ, though, coming up big. The 1B. Ooh, Powers. Some great shots around cover. Going to extend this lead to 3 rounds.
Even better footwork to step to the left, to cut back and get that shot with his right hand. Took TJ off guard, and TJ, you know, the shot that he took off his left hand came up a little bit short there. Need a little bit more swing on that joystick to the right, but in the end, man, it's Powers and Zovios with a sitting comfortable currently with the rounds that they have to their name. But Noe pushes up a little bit more, feeling good. But TJ, you see how he cuts through the middle of the map, but it doesn't matter. Powers was waiting for him. He had ample amount of time to adjust into that fight, and they're going to take a 4-round lead. So far, they're looking good, and they're currently in that same position that they was against Handles and Assail. So we're going to start to see them play more defensively on that flat layout and give it everything that they got on the elevation and trenches.
Yeah, I think the only thing is like how strong Noe and Powers look on these layouts. Powers going out wide right. Demise hits a nice shot, going to get the down. Noe comes through, gets the down on Demise. Going to be getting him up there, and Demise comes through to take down Noe. So you're going to be able to take that round, and that can be a little bit of a coin flip, but as you see from that stat line, you know, kind of even on the 50-50. No shock there. That's why we call it what it is. But going into the trench layout, the 1v1 layout, you see Powers going to be eyeing down Demise, Noe eyeing down TJ. We'll see how this one breaks out. Good first shot from Noe. Oh, but TJ turns the corner, takes down Noe. Powers wins his
even better reaction is to get out of the damage range of Powers and get his health back. But this is coming down to 1 shot. Both players, you see how Powers is trying to get some damage over the top of the cover to prevent TJ from getting his health back. That's just a great heads-up awareness, knowing that you need to finish off your opponent as quickly as possible. But both players back at 100% health. Who's going to get the leg up? But that's a beautiful spray from TJ, playing off his left. The slide to the wall, didn't get in range, but the back A's connect. Power feels the pressure, but as he steps up, TJ playing off that left hand cover swap. Can he get the shot? Powers finishes him off.
20 seconds left to play in that round as well. I'm sure TJ and Demise realized that, trying to get him to play to his life, but what impressed me the most was the conditioning. And usually these rounds in 2v2 play out so quick you don't get to see it, but Powers conditioning his opponent to play off of his left side so that he had the right hand advantage, and it
like
ends
that.
out working out for him in the end. Great play out of Powers.
Now, Demise, you see him just chipping away, looking for a good opportunity. Noe and Powers were aggressive to start, and they won this layout majority of the rounds. I want to say 3 out of the last 4, or 2 out of the last 3, regardless, majority. Now, currently you see Demise and Powers getting aggressive here towards mid-map. Powers seeing if he could work the edges just a bit more, but you have to respect TJ on the opposite end, so Noe knows that he can't leave right away. Gonna have to always keep an eye on TJ. I respect both these squads just trying to find an inch, find any advantage in which they can get.
And they're not going to overcommit at this level too, which is, you know, something you can really learn from as a player, as a member of the audience right now, is they don't have an advantage and they're not trying to force an advantage, which is the biggest thing. You know, this one kind of evened out until essentially the initial break. You get your early shots in. If you have the advantage, you'll see TJ and Demise try to press it and kind of push up. This time, no real advantage was ascertained. So they said, you know what, we'll see you on the hill. And that's what they're going to play for right now. Still have the rest of this round remaining. Gonna wait.
That's what 2v2 needs. They need a hill to just show up mid-map, force them to fight or something. Just a little ring here, dead center, like Execution 2.0. Figuring out ways to break stalemates. And if you guys have not played it, I suggest that you hop on Gears 5 now, and it's going to be the featured playlist at the top of your screen and rank. Give it a try and have some fun. I've definitely been enjoying it because, you know, who doesn't love Gears of War and Execution? I feel like that's where all of our loves for Gears of War
peanut butter and jelly right there. Peanut butter and jelly right there, Blaze. Gears of War, Execution. And 2.0, somehow they made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches better. Now we're talking Uncrustables.
Insane. What do they do? Toast it?
Uncrustables. Maybe a little toast, put a little butter on either side before you slather that up with your
You take off the crust and just kind of like, you know, do something nice with the edges. Well, you got me thinking here, Frank, but these players can't think in this layout. They just have to shoot, trade shots, and it's going to be Zovios and Powers who win it this time around. That's a 9-4 lead for them. Looking to get this one all tied up 1-1.
Man, and they're doing it like extremely strong too. They're looking good on multiple different layouts. That first map on mid was close. The thing to keep in mind though is if this gets drawn out to a game 5, we're going back to mid, which would favor TJ and Demise. But Noe and Powers looking like they have a lot of momentum here. The 1v1, we have Demise going up against Noe, going up against Zovios. He's outside of cover, but he's going to be able to retreat back, reposition a little bit, getting this damage constant. And oh my goodness, the shot out of Noe. So sick. They win map number 2, 10 rounds to 4.
Yes, they do. Congrats to Zovios and Powers as they lock in map number 2 and get this one all tied up. But man, it didn't really matter the layout. If it was the elevator layout, the trench, the flat one, they had something working for them on each and every one. So a 10-4 victory is not nothing to kind of bat an eye out, especially when you're going up against TJ and Demise, who have won consistently on that map against other top-tier duos. So congrats to them there, but the series is far from over. It's looking like this one may go the distance as we head over to boxes next.
Yeah, it very well might. It's going to be a close one for sure. I love that the grand finals is so back and forth. It makes it tough to predict, keeps me on the edge of my seat, not just to correct my posture, but because it's genuinely exciting and interesting, which, you know, that's a win-win in my book. I might not be winning that first place $4,000, but at least I get to watch some good gears and keep my posture in check. So can't do too much complaining. Now, map number 3, we're going to be heading over to boxes, another classic. And Blaze, if I'm being honest, like, I think there's not too much incentive in predicting these. We just get to sit back and kind of enjoy and analyze as the match unfolds, because they've shown that these two duos are very even-footed.
I agree with that, man. You know, we can put some predictions out there on who we think is going to win it, but you know, like you said, we have to analyze it in the moment. The strategy is not that deep as maybe 4v4 escalation is going to be. It just comes out to who's going to be able to come out, get the first shot off, get that early damage in, and be confident in their pushes, be confident in their 1v1 fights. This is something that really showcases individual skill We know who the real killers are out there when it comes down to 2v2, and that's the consistent teams that we see week in and week out. And that's why TJ Demise have been at the top, but Zovios and Powers individually are in the top 10 when it comes down to all the Gears of War players in the world, and I do mean that. And so when you put them together, all they're missing is just kind of the chemistry, the reps that TJ and Demise have. But as we see, when it's more money on the line, that chemistry, it could be, you could make up for it. You could find ways to catch up to them when it comes down to the skill of the duo of TJ and Demise, and they're doing a good job at that. It's all tied up 1-1 here in the grand finals, and Zovios and Powers, they know that they just have to hit shots and win 1v1s, just a few more rounds, few more maps in there. They're looking at a first place 4K prize.
Yeah, it's looking real nice for them as well. And I think it comes down to grit at this point. It's grinding through these matches to come out on top. The one thing I will say that did impress me in map number 1 that TJ and Demise were able to pull off was that kind of mid-round adjustment where they recognized how much pressure Zovios was putting on TJ, so Demise was able to step up and they flipped that map in their favor. All Fathers Arena, of course, was a different story as it favored Zovios and Powers with those multiple different looks and kind of the isolated 1v1s played to their strength some. So going to boxes, it really is either duo's game. As we're starting off on TJ, taking a little bit of damage, but look towards Noe. Oh my gosh, blink and you missed it. TJ and Demise were just deleted as Zovios and Powers took that first round.
I actually did blink and I missed it. It was so fast, crazy. But that's boxes for you folks, okay?
Yeah.
These players that came out, they knew what their first shot was going to be. What was their first move? It's like a game of Battleship. You know, you make a decision, you come out, you stick to it, and sometimes you're going to have a quick round like that. So perfect play for them. Powers gets the first blood in this round. Didn't get a shot on TJ there. TJ, you see, he gets the down, but no, he traded him out and had his teammate up for the revive. So that's the first 2 rounds on the board for Zovios and Powers. And when they're able to get a lead in these series, in these maps, they do a good job at holding it.
Yeah, I think that is one thing that is maybe one of the traits that's overlooked in Astro battles in 2v2 in these matches is just holding on to that lead. You know, we talk about the upsets and the crazy things that happen, but being tried and true and steady in the rounds, maintaining that lead is huge. As we see the 1v1 now going to come out. Powers pretty healthy. The melee comes through, but he just turns right to the face. Demise is gone.
The backslide, he dodges the shot, gave him enough time to get the reload, because I do believe he jammed his gun in that moment, but the shot comes out, and it was a perfect play there from Powers, a perfect adjustment there, because he saw his opponent going in for that death blow, and he survived it. So coming into this round, it's him versus Demise. He takes a side bounce to the left. Demise got the perfect opening, get 2 shots in, gets aggressive, takes out Noe, and TJ and Demise adds another round to the board, their first.
And you know, Zovios and Power saying, okay, we'll give you that one. We'll give you one. But the first 3 rounds out of them look so solid. I'm still not convinced the wind has been taken out of their sails just yet. Starting off this one, we'll see what TJ does in response. He is the shooter, hits those shots consistently. Big oh, Noe, you answered the chunk like that. TJ hits Noe with a brick. Noe answers back with a chunk. Powers and Zovios
answering a call with a chunk right there. He says, okay, that was a nice first attempt, first shot that you tried to take towards me, but I got a better step towards you. And he was able to bring out that devastating blow to get the advantage and get that round on the books for his team. So Powers versus Demise over here in the corner. Once again, Demise wins this battle. Noe trying to stay alive, seeing if he can play off any damage that Powers put out. It wasn't much, and that's going to be another round on the books here to TJ and Demise.
And this is kind of slowly playing into TJ and Demise's favor. Though they don't have the lead right now, they're definitely that back half duo. They play stronger in the later rounds, so you can never count them out. You want to get that early lead like we saw in the previous map on Arena from Zovios and Powers. So the longer they take to break away, the more likely TJ and Demise comeback is going to occur. As we see this battle occurring mid-box, Demise gonna break free, tries to help, but TJ gets no lead. Powers, oh, TJ answers 2 headshots in a row out of him. He's getting in the groove. He's getting in the groove a little bit, gotta say.
Yeah, just a bit, man. Beautiful precision there from TJ. You know, you see those 2 back A's that come out. He's able to clean up both kills there. And, you know, I would say even better play there from Demise as well, because he left his fight to help his teammate out and, you know, try to give him a leg up in that scenario, and it definitely worked out for him. TJ gets first blood this round. Demise disengages, and it's going to be a 2v1 scenario here for the boys of Hive and Elevated. They're going to come out on top.
Yeah, this one's looking like it's going to go the distance, and I'm just not talking this map, Blaze. I'm talking map 5 grand finals, because it has just been back and forth, and I think that's TJ and Demise's strength on the familiar maps, I'll call them, the least 2 new maps, right? They've played it so many times. They know all the strategies, all the ins and outs, the ways to work every single angle. So it's going to be on Xovios and Powers to really just overpower, kind of manhandle TJ and Demise, because they have the strategy advantage, and there they do it. Noe and Powers going down. Demise, though, still up. Big shot on to Noe. Noe runs up. This is a shot. Oh, my God. You gotta be kidding me.
Man, what a beautiful revive there for TJ. But Noe had nice aggression in that round. But, man, Demise getting saved by his teammate. He makes the perfect play. What a pressure situation. It all happened so quickly, man. Oh, let's see if it happens again as we head into this next round.
So crazy. Oh, Demise runs right up onto Powers. Yeah, he's feeling it now, and that's scary because TJ is mainly this. Oh, okay, Demise says, all right, I'm going to make this one even. I'm going to work our way back into this. This is the back half. TJ and Demise, 5 rounds in a row, the 2-round lead. And with this, they might take map advantage in the grand finals if they can close it out.
And you know what? And we also talked about when it comes down to map number 4, we're going to Annex. You want to make sure you have a lead there. And so because Annex is going to be a difficult map to have to come back on and force the map number 5 on mid if you lose this one. Xovios and Power standing in this fight. Demise doing a good job putting out damage, but he's going to disengage, goes towards the back pillar, looking for any opportunity at a 1v1, and Xovios and Powers is going to make sure they do not give him that opportunity.
Yeah, textbook kind of 2v1 scenario, work a couple of different angles, just keep that damage output cooking, keep the stove turned on, and Xovios and Powers do just that to work their way back into this one. Just 1 round down still, even after that stretch that TJ and Demise went on. That was just to get themselves back into this game. So now, kind of reset on even footing. Powers makes a quick play, takes down Demise. It's all on TJ. A brick comes through. Powers taking it. Noe gonna clean that one up. And Xovios and Powers tie it up at 6s.
All right, tying it up at 6s here. So far, so good. Xovios and Powers, man, when it comes down to this duo, I love how we've been kind of watching them evolve throughout the semifinals and here round by round against TJ and Demise, because it just took them a few rounds to understand their timing. And Gears of War is a game all about timing. And Xovios and Powers, they've always been playing front spawns, and that's a position in 4v4 and 5v5 Gears where you have to be a master of timing to take control over certain positions on the map. And they're starting to take control of map number 3 as they are off to a 1-round lead, and they have started a streak of their own. We'll see if they can match the 5-round streak that TJ and Demise just had. If they do that, they'll be at map point, and they'll have that 2-1 lead as we head into map number 4 on Annex.
Yeah, and you want that lead going into Annex because that's kind of another one of those elevated layouts like Hill that we saw on Arena. You want the advantage because it can be a coin flip, and Powers and Xovios looking to have that map advantage going into map number 4. They just need 2 here to take the lead over our first seed, TJ and Demise.
Round by round, they're evolving, right? And, you know, Xovios and Powers, they get annoying and stronger in the late game, and being annoying is good because your opponent, they just feel like they can't do nothing in these scenarios, can't find an advantage whatsoever. But double downs on the map. Demise did not get the revive, and Noe will find the shot. That's 5 in a row for them. 9-6 on the scoreboard, 1 round away from locking in map number 3.
Damn. Noe and Powers really hitting him with the anything you can do, I can do better as they get 6 rounds answered right back. They said, oh, that was cute. Yeah, we can do that too. As they potentially closing it out here, going into map number 4 on Grand Finals point. If they can close this one out, Noe gonna come through. That happened all
it
very,
happened
very
all
fast.
so quickly because TJ traded out on that mid box. I do believe that was against Powers there. And then on the flip end, Demise had won his 1v1 against Noe. But at first, I thought Demise may have went down in that fight, but he did win that battle. So they will stay alive. Powers gets an initial shot on Demise, but this fight has been going back and forth. Powers, we can see that he's playing off his right hand. He goes for a reload there in that scenario. That could have been bad for him. His opponent saw it, but Demise backs up. He's going to play off his opponent's damage, makes it a 1v1. Powers, what can you do? The back A is lined up. Demise inching around the cover, trying to play his right-hand advantage. He comes back, plays off the left, and he gets the shot. We're all going to be 1 round away from the tie at 9-9, but man, that was a round that he had to play perfect, and he made some great rotations.
Demise has been the X factor for this duo the entire tournament. He is stepping it up in a major way. We always talk about
I think it's
how,
Prescott. I think it's the character, but that's neither here nor there, Frank.
Oh,
TJ
but it's here right now.
blood.
Demise is here right now, Blaze. And TJ does get that first blood, opens it up for Demise. He's going to get that down. Shout outs, Prescott, making a big difference here in the grand finals. Tied up at 9, round 19.
Here we go, round 19 to decide a winner, folks. I don't see this one drawn out. It comes down to this one. Who's gonna have the map lead as we head into Annex map number 4? Demise, you've been playing fantastic. Can you close it out for the fans? Show us what the first seed is all about. You got some contenders on the other end. They push them back towards spawn. TJ goes out wide. Him and Powers are gonna settle. Noe is going to be in his spawn as well. So mirror setups between both these squads. You can see it on the mini map top right. Where are they looking? Where are they positioning? Who's the focus? Well, the players on the pillars are going to be the focus for each respective team. But who's going to get that initial damage out? Once these pistols are picked up, man, they're going to break out.
Here we have Powers. First pistol taken. TJ gets his in turn. Took a little bit of damage, but able to get that. Demise being pushed back into sandbags in that spawn. Don't have to see no countdown just yet. No threatening clock. TJ taking a little bit of damage, but is in a position to heal up. Powers playing it slow. TJ knows Noe's here. It's a couple shots on him. We'll see if Demise looks to make a play while TJ is putting out this damage. So far, he's playing it patient in spawn. A little bit of movement out of Powers, just checking the angles on that pillar. Does know that Demise is in that base. TJ, this is like a $4,000 game of whack-a-mole right now, Blaze. That's what's happening right here.
He moves up though for the shot, and he's gonna have to back down. He didn't get a good blow. TJ's there for the rebound. The team kill comes through, and they win map number 3. What a blunder! It was all set up before rounds in a row for TJ and Demise to come out on top with the lead. Man, playing with knives can get you cut.
Yeah. All right, I need a little bit of a breather just to soak in what just happened. The round 19 team kill from Zovios and Powers. That is, like, we talked about how tragic the team kills are before, but that's when it's like 6 rounds to 4. Not all right, the context, right? Round 19 going into Annex, and it puts you on map point. You kill your teammate.
They had 4 rounds to close that out. 4 rounds to close that out. Zovios and Powers, they didn't want it as much as TJ and Demise did, okay? Yeah. And that's where that consistency comes into play from the regular season. We saw it there in a late game. They knew that they've been in scenarios like that plenty of times before. So fantastic comeback from them to get that map lead. Zovios and Powers, they have to go to Annex to get this one all tied up. But when it comes down to Annex, that's pretty much that elevated arena fight over and over and over, okay? So they were dominant there. We saw it against Handles and Assails, but can they do it now against TJ and Demise? We'll find out, because it's going to be a headbutt every single round, and we're going to see who has the sharpest horns, fangs, whatever you want to say. But we're about to find out who's ready to play.
Yeah, we're about to find out. I don't know if Xovios and Powers are asking if they can do a sub. There might be some bad blood there after round 19, kill my own teammate. Like, give me somebody else, anybody else. Somebody who's not going to shoot me in the back when there's money on the line. But, yeah, it looks like they're taking a little breather after that map number 3. The jitters, man. If I'm blaming it on like Bluetooth or something, saying, you know, the 5G towers.
They had the down on TJ. They had the down on TJ.
That's brutal.
Powers went up to go get the kill, and Xovio says, "No,
yeah,
I'm trying to be the hero here. I'm trying to win the fight." And it's just a blunder between both of them. They had the same idea, and in that moment, they were making quick decisions. It just didn't work out for them, and they're gonna lose that. They're gonna lose that round. And so, friendly fire, it makes the difference, folks. I know some of you guys out there may have not played Gears of War with friendly fire on because it's not turned on in ranked games, but when you're in these tournaments, when you're in these custom games, friendly fire is on, and how you take these fights mean the world. You have to play wide. Don't get in your teammate's way. If you step in his way, you're almost asking to get shot sometimes. It's like, do you want some help? Do you want the support fire to come through? You got to be aware of the position on the map in which you and your teammates are in when you are fighting these battles.
Shoot your shot, but don't shoot your friends is the theme of Astro battles here today in the $10,000.
Because you only got one duo, and if you ain't got him, you ain't got nobody.
That's right. And that team kill might have cost Xovios and Powers $2,000. We will have to see as we move towards Annex for map number 4 here in the grand finals. TJ and Demise are on grand finals point. Noe going down early. His teammate's going to be able to get him up. Demise comes through, takes down both TJ and Demise. Going to take round number 1 on Annex.
And see, that was a simple round. Get up there, hit your shots, blow for blow, tit for tat. Who can get the first shot off and capitalize off of that one? And we're gonna see it every single round. That time around, it was TJ and Demise who came out victorious. But here we go again. Can they make it 2 rounds in a row? TJ, he gets into that corner. Powers didn't get no help, and he's gonna learn quickly that you gotta play up top. And if you play that close, you're almost asking to die. He tried to see if Noe can make a play through mid-map, but as we know, there is only one fight to take, and TJ and Demise know this very well. So if TJ and Demise split off into like a 1-1 or they play the trenches, I'll be very surprised. I think they're just gonna head down up top and just take the coin flip fight.
Yeah,
they know better.
No, yeah, and then TJ and Demise. Well, just as I say that, Demise gets a little bit aggressive, gonna give a kill over to Noe. Noe now has the flash as well. TJ fighting for his life. The one thing he does have is the height advantage. He could potentially do this here. No, Power's gonna work to split the difference, and Noe gonna secure that final kill to get them on the board. But I mean, risky out of Demise. If I'm TJ, maybe I'm kicking and say, hey, let's stick together. We had the high ground. We'll stick up there. Things will work out just fine. They just need to take this map on Annex to win that $4,000 first place prize.
I think TJ and Demise was on different pages right there. Demise probably thought TJ had his back as they got aggressive, but they're going to be on the same page this round. And that page being that if they do not get contested, just slow the round down a little bit. But Noe never got his health back in that round. Once he took the initial damage, he was the focus of TJ and Demise. And they did a fantastic job cleaning up that kill and taking their 2v1 against Powers, showing the Powers of height advantage, because that's the little advantage in which they have here that they're finding ways to capitalize on, just putting out free damage on their opponent off the initial.
Yeah, and this can show you too, like how to prioritize in your own games. Like height advantage is more important than that flash spawn down low. I think it's off the start. We see Powers and Noe consistently going for it. Well, guess what? Height advantage is stronger than that weapon pickup in this case. And
correct.
They've learned that. So Demise and TJ just able to put out the constant damage. And now what's Noe going to do? There's no cover there, Noe. And now it's all on Powers yet again to try to make a miracle happen. But TJ versus Demise, 2v1 in the grand finals. You are fighting an uphill battle, and it's a lot more uphill than those initial stairs.
I don't think Powers and Xovios probably ever played this map.
Okay, I'm glad you said it.
Except the best way you play Annex is go up top. That's their best chance. And they have the ability to win the fight, but they're not going to learn to fight unless they lose it a few times. have they been losing these rounds? It's just problematic. Doesn't work out for them, and pretty much with the amount of times we've seen this map, Frank, it's almost like they're axing, like they're throwing this map away by not contesting TJ and Demise.
Yeah, and that shows to me, like you mentioned, just a lack of understanding, a lack of experience on this map, and that comes down to TJ and Demise entering this kind of week after week. But here we see Powers is able to open up with an early kill on the TJ, going to be working around towards Demise, gets the down, and that's a round for them. But yeah, in the long run, that height advantage is going to win you more rounds on this layout than any other strategy you could employ. So while it's like nice that Powers and Zovios took that round, they need to recognize that the map is played on those stairs at the height advantage. And look at this breakout from Powers. That's everything you need to know right here. They're being forced to the low side of the map. Even though there's a flash down there, watch the damage they take from this position. You see Powers. Okay, Powers again. All right, I'll eat my words, Powers. I'll eat my words.
Nice. See, that's Demise and TJ getting sloppy there on how they kind of take that fight. They had focus on the middle, but Powers got two beautiful shots off his left hand there. And he also won the fight the previous round on the ramp against TJ. So he's made the play from that position both rounds. And, you know, he may continue to try to take that fight with him having so much success with it to start. So we see Demise and TJ both split out into 1-1s and slow this map down just a bit. TJ is going to accidentally hop off that cover, but he gets back into position. And him and Demise can choose to take their right-hand advantage on Powers if they want to, but they have to make that decision quickly.
Yeah, and here you see, which is a little bit scary, I want to say, on the half of TJ and Demise, is that Powers and Noe have won enough layouts splitting to that low side that they were forced to take a different initial break. But here we see TJ and Demise saying, no, if we get height advantage, we can close this one out. As we see TJ come in, take down Noe, and this is exactly how you should be playing this map with that height advantage. Again, that previous round they lost, got a little sloppy. Demise is in a perfect position to be able to get his health back, coordinate with his teammate, and it's on Powers to make a miracle happen here, essentially, because Demise and TJ can just keep
got a lot of coins
rotation.
in the wishing well.
Yeah.
Okay, he saw a shooting star last night, or just a second ago, because the way he was faring in that fight and the way he just kind of extended that round, his opponents was giving him a lot of respect because he was hitting those shots. Great effort to Powers, but doesn't come out with it. It's Demise and TJ with a 2-round lead, and so far it's been looking good for him. This could have been probably 7-1 in their favor, barring Powers didn't clutch up those 2 rounds and make big plays for him. But because he did that, he forced his opponent to change their strategy, and that shows that one player can change the tide of the battle, as Powers is forcing respect from his opponents. And now in a 1v2 with one player down, can Powers take out TJ? He knows he needs to cut off the angle, but TJ played it phenomenally, playing for damage, knowing that Powers had to play for the down. If not, he was going to be in a 2v1. So that's 200 IQ coming out from TJ.
Yeah, and this is the advantage of playing that high ground. You see him playing more patient now. TJ and Demise, the round that Powers took off him, they played it a little bit impatient. And here you see Zovios and Powers kind of catching on to this map's meta, but Noe gonna eat the shot there, gets down, gets up, gets down, the 1v. It's gonna be Noe coming out on top to take that round, and now they might be catching on. Now we might have a match on our hands if Zovios and Powers have recognized that they just need to contest the high ground against TJ and Demise.
All right, let's see. They did the last round and won, so they may have the confidence now, knowing that he has to play wide right, give his teammates some time to work out. But Noe's bouncing back and forth in Power shots, and I don't even blame that one on Powers. Noe is just, his first thought when he takes damage is to bounce around and try to dodge shots, but you know, friendly fire's on, brother, and he's just getting away of Powers there. He has to just soak up the damage and just put out a better shot, hit a better L trigger to assist his teammate there if he's getting focused, and have faith that the revive is going to come through.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a team kill comes through in a clutch moment yet again on behalf of...
we see it this round, but
yeah.
Demise and TJ give him a master class on how it's done with the right hand on that side.
So here we have what was about to be a Cinderella story being dismantled at the pressure of TJ and Demise. Can Xovios and Powers claw their way back into this one? TJ and Demise just need 2 rounds now to walk away with $4,000 for first place. Demise gets the early down. It's coming through. The 1v, though, is going to occur. Demise has health. Powers weak, has to retreat. Oh, no. Demise just going to be able to shoot shots here. Powers stuck in
Oh, no, he
position.
can kill him from there. He's hit his pellets. Powers have to shift shoulders. That's why he's dodging shots. The camera flipping. He's putting his head and his shoulder on the opposite end for his opponent so he can't hit him. So good Gears of War awareness from him. And I don't expect anything less when it comes down to a player with some of the best movement that we've ever seen in Gears of War. So he knows where he can get shot and where he can't get shot. In Demise, he's trying to make a decision. How does he want to take this fight? He may try to make his opponent pop out of a cover, you know, try to get him out of this position. But also on the flip end, Demise know that they have the lead, so it's okay to draw out around every so often, especially if you got the lead and you can just wait for your teammate to come back in. You guys that have the lead going into the next one.
Yeah, can play the clock, play your life. There's no reason to throw away around there if you're Demise. That's just kind of asking for it. At that point, essentially, you're waiting for Powers to make a mistake that you can capitalize on, because you don't want to go into a coin flip scenario with the rounds where it's at. You've seen Xovios and Powers make those comebacks before, so you want to hedge your bets. Here we see Noe taking a lot of damage. TJ going to get the down, but they're going to get the revives up now. Noe being forced to back off, gets slapped with that shot. Powers has to retreat. They don't have the height advantage anymore. It's an absolute bloodbath. Powers going to come through, take down Demise. We've got the 1v1 though now. TJ,
Powers wasn't ready for it, but Noe and Powers played it so well, just being there for each other, being there for the revives, putting out the damage, and they just got a little too far away from each other. Noe was on his last down, and Powers, man, had a player with a right hand advantage right above him, just couldn't get the shot out in time. But this could be the final round.
This could be it. The deciding factor. Revives having to come through on both squads. Noe and Powers catching 2 bricks, and brick by brick, our #1 seed has built a small fortune for themselves. First place going to TJ and Demise, $4,000 to their name.
Congratulations to TJ and Demise, our most consistent duo of the spring season for 2v2 Astro battles, and they definitely are the best team that was in. They definitely are the best team that was in this tournament, as they have proven, coming out victorious. But man, they had a tough duo in Xovios and Powers. Shout out to them for making it this far in the spring major. But in the end, TJ and Demise just proved to be too much for them, and they showed that consistency that they built in a regular season, no matter if it was the spring regular season or the winter regular season, or if it was last year in those 3 sets. It's been about 5 seasons of Astro battles, and TJ and Demise have been consistent throughout, and I am not surprised that they are the champions today.
No, it doesn't surprise me. Again, they're the #1 seed. What surprised me was how well Xovios and Powers played together, and we hadn't seen them all season. So
they adjusted very well round after round.
Yeah, so that just says to me, like, consistency, that experience is worth so much. Like, individual skill definitely plays a part, especially at this level, but it was TJ and Demise, like you saw on mid. Like, they were able to go down 4 or so rounds and adjust. TJ was getting bullied by Noe early on mid, and because they had that experience of entering all of the weekly qualifiers, they said, no, we can adjust. We know we've been in this situation before, and all of that kind of culminated into them being your victors here today. First place in the $10,000 Astro Battles 2v2 Spring Major. So congratulations to TJ and Demise. And then, of course, Xovios and Powers going to be your runners-up, walking away with $2,000. And congratulations to the rest of the winners that you see on screen there. A nice little prize distribution with a 10K grand final. And the winner of the Astro Stream giveaway, you all spammed !Astro in chat. One of you won. Reaver, is it Liam or Lime? I don't know.
Liam, it looks like Reaver Liam. Congratulations on being the winners for the Astro giveaway. Make sure you guys give him some love in the chat. Let's get some GGs in there for him. Congrats to you for walking away with those beautiful A50s. I got them on my head right now, but I don't got that set with the updated bass mix sample right there. I got the classic version, so I'm kind of jealous.
We got some custom tags here as well. I don't know if you can see that on screen. The Beyonce. That's another thing, guys. Buy Astro. You can customize them, make them your own.
Yes.
I know Blaze and
I still got my very first speaker tags I ever made. Okay, years ago.
Okay.
Takes me back.
I'll tell my speaker tag story and then we'll close it out here for tonight. So my what were they? What were the small ones? But I had speaker tags on those. I
ran over or the A20s.
They might be the A20s, the smaller version. But long story, I made the custom, or maybe the A30s. There's a ton of Astro products. I feel embarrassed for not knowing, but it's a live environment. And you always, listen, there's a reason I'm not competing. I'm not clutch like that. But long story short, I ran over, it's before these could detach and you can get them like replaced. Ran over, mangled the cable, doesn't work anymore. Still have the speaker tags because I'm a sucker for them. I love them. They're awesome. Buy Astro products is the very, it's history. It's a part of me.
That's the point of the story. Buy them, okay? Customize them. Build a relationship for them. Because especially if you want to compete in Gears esports, you need high quality sound. You need to be able to hear those footsteps because footsteps is everything. If not, you're going to have a player like me always creeping up behind you on the flank.
Big. Oh, man. All right, you're going to make me go down on a nostalgia trip that we don't have time for because people got a weekend to live out. And, you know, TJ and Demise have $4,000 split between the two of them to spend. So, Blaze, it's been an absolute pleasure casting another season of Astro Battles with you. We hope to have you back. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for winning some amazing prizes if you watch via live.gearsofwar.com. We hope you had a great grand final here with us today, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Have a great weekend, everybody.